Hello, friends. What's going on? It has definitely been a little bit. It's up Ski, Alnick, Hyper Whale, Never in My Life, Toadette, Bimps, Omar, and Monstar CQ, as well as everyone else who's hanging out here. Akari. We are in fact back. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we've streamed. Oh, my video archive is empty. Yeah. So basically, like, I. Oh, we got a replay reading from Ski. Yeah, we'll check that out here in a little bit. Yeah, no, It's funny because I initially took the time off to work on a longer edit video, that being the hand trap video. But then I had some IRL stuff kind of come up around the same time. So between that and also the fact that scripting that video has kind of been like way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Because like, well, okay, I kind of am struggling to decide if I want to make one or two hand trap videos. Like, I want to make a more generalized hand trap video. That one's definitely been the more difficult one to script, mostly to know where to start. Like, even talking about like, okay, here's, you know, generally how all the hand traps work and what order you use them in. But like, there's so many different variables. But I also do want to make an updated hand trap for like, okay, here's generally against all the meta decks where you use hand traps. So that might be its own thing. I don't know at this point, but either way, I do want to make those videos sooner rather than later. Oh, I saw the banner. Oh, there it is. Phenomenal with the resub for 11 months. What's up? Hope you are doing well. Thank you for that resub there. So today, though, I think today we're going to be doing, as the title says, a lot of deck building. I did my monthly clean out. As you can see, I only have 2 decks here. This is something that I do at the end of every single season, pretty much as soon as we know the ban list, and generally have some idea of what's going to be in the next set. I like to just like delete all my decks and then just build them all from scratch. The only 2 that I have here are Manadium, which we covered recently, and Ubel, which is coming out tomorrow. So it's the chatting stream, pretty much, yeah. We'll probably do some amount of playing, but mostly just going to be vibing, chatting. Oh, actually, you know what? Speaking of vibing, I need to put on... Let me turn off Master Duel music. And I'm going to put on one of the chill video game music lists I have here. Because I figured that would be a lot better for this kind of a thing. We don't need to listen to Master Duel music for... Or menu music, rather, for like 3 hours. 4 hours. So yeah, this is the Manadium deck that we played recently. I really like this list. I'm trying to think if there's anything I would change about it. I was saying in the video that I was thinking about taking out an Imperm and putting in a Veiler and going 2 and 2. I think I like this. I think that if you have 4 slots dedicated to like monster effect negation. Also, let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet, or if it's just right. But yeah, I don't know. In the past, I've gone 1 Veiler with 3 Imperm a lot, but I kind of think 2 and 2 is better. Like, it plays better into something like Maxi, you know, branded wear. Oh, we might put together branded. I don't know. I mean, I have all the stuff for it, but I don't like playing that deck. I don't have anything against it. I just don't find it as fun as other decks. But I think the extra deck, I wouldn't change anything. These could be droplets, but I like triple attack more. Alright, yeah, Manadium staying pretty much the same. Alright, Ubel. So this is my current Ubel list, and it's the one that you're going to see in tomorrow's YouTube video, actually. This is not the kind of Ubel list that I would normally play, but I'll talk about where I found it here in a second. But first I want to talk about some things about it. Trying Chaos Summoning Beast, no Abyss Actors. I have actually thought about crafting that card. The Leak 2, beep, 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 this one, right? That allows you some extended plays if you open, like, I think Gates, is it? Or Beckoning Beast? Yeah, so this build, I am on Chaos Summoning Beast here, which is not a card that I've been on before. I decided to try it out. Actually, really, the thing about this build in general is that a lot of things about it were things that I wanted to try that I wasn't normally doing, right? I like exploring different builds that are not things I would, like... I mean, obviously, it's not things that I think are bad. It's just not the way that I would normally build this deck, right? But getting to have some first-hand experience of that tech, I think, is very valuable. Dragon Master Magia Sprite? Is that a thing? I wouldn't be surprised, but we make a Dragon Master Magia. I've had a number of people ask if I'm going to make a deck around that card. I don't currently have plans to, but I'm not opposed to trying it out if I'm directed to like a really cool build. It's a really cool card. Very, very good card too. Like if you can summon this thing, it's basically... I'll call it like 2.5 Omni Negates, because on your opponent's turn, you're probably going to be able to negate a monster and a spell pretty easily. You probably won't negate a trap card on their turn, but obviously having the trap card negate be separate is still really good, because then if your opponent tries like Impermit right, you can use just one of the negates on that. So, also, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can use a fusion substitute monster to make this, right? Because it lists Blue Eyes Ultimate as one of the materials. Like, it does list a specific monster. Because I know that's the thing about monsters that are used as fusion substitutes, is that they need to be replacing a specific named monster. Now, this is Blue Eyes Ultimate or 3 Blue Eyes, but I think that works. Yeah, you can use a fusion sub. That makes it a little easier to summon. So a fusion sub plus a Chaos or Blackluster Soldier Ritual. I mean... You could always just fuse, you could always just fuse a fusion sub with Illusion of Chaos. That's a pretty low commitment, as far as, like, you don't have to go into, like, a Blue Eyes Ultimate or go out of your way to play, like, you know, any of the BLS rituals. You could just play an Illusion of Chaos Magician Souls package with the fusion substitute. And, I mean, that's a way you could potentially make the Magia. That wouldn't be too, like... That leaves a lot of room for deck building, actually. Ooh, this is a great song. I love Transistor. I don't know how many people out there are familiar with that game, but... It's a very, very good one. Seen Virtual World do it. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What all, substitute... Oh my god, how do you spell this word? Substitute. So there's obviously a Goddess with a third eye. That's only for Fright for fusions. Fusion to Parasite. If this card is special summoned, you can fusion summon one using monsters you control. But not your hand. You have to control them. This is interesting. Fusion Parasite is not only a substitute, but does offer a way to fuse on the same card. The fact that you have to control the card for our purposes, I mean, if you're trying to summon Magia with this, is, like, a little weird. If you can fuse with an Illusion of Chaos in hand. Beatrice and Havnus using the Mud Dragon Synchro in the graveyard was interesting. Oh, that does sound interesting. Summon up Magia while still having VW plays. That's cool. These also use monsters you control. The Hex Sealed Fusions. I guess it would be light. What attribute is Magia? Is it dark or light? It is light. Oops. Substitute. There's obviously good old King of the Swamp. Always an option. Sprite to bring out Gale Dogger to set up materials for Necrofusion. That's cute. That's pretty good, actually. There is Muddy Mud Dragon, as somebody mentioned earlier. This is another one that's also a fusion. So, I mean, I assume this is how VW does it, right? How they would summon this. Monsters you control. It also, this is another one that says monsters you control, though. That's interesting. Okay. I might look into that some more. Oh, Quickdraw. Oh, God, I love Quickdraw. So good. It's such a good card. Okay. I Oh yeah, I was talking about Ubel. So yeah, for this build, like I said, we're trying out a few things that I don't normally play in Ubel. Chaos Summoning Beast being one of them. I will say, when I play tested, I had a play session with this deck. I think it was like about a dozen games, so it really wasn't that many to be fair. But this didn't end up really coming up, and that's, I don't know. The hands where this comes up are pretty niche. I said during my video, and I still think this is true, that like I think that if I were playing Ubel in a tournament, I would play Chaos Summoning Beast. But I think for ranked ladder, it's like fine. Like if on ranked ladder, if you open a hand that's just opening and you really don't have any other plays, one, you probably have a lot of hand traps, so that might just get you there. And two, it's like it's fine. Sometimes you just lose that game. Now again, for a tournament where you do have to like win every single game, that's not quite as acceptable. So I don't fault people for using Chaos Summoning Beasts, but I think for future ranked ladder builds, I probably won't include it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. What else was there? Gamma was in this build. Gamma is a card that I've kind of gone back and forth in if I wanted to try it out in Ubel, and so I decided to go for it here, and I was pretty thoroughly impressed with it, honestly. It comes up quite a bit more here than it does in other decks, because one of your main opening plays is going to be the Samsara D Lotus, right? And that I was waiting for that song to come on, and it's in the Yoshi Island. It's a Yoshi's Island song. That's good. Yeah, Samsara D Lotus. You know, you often start by tributing this, so they'll often use Ash Blossom there. A lot of people will use Max C at that point too. I'm starting to think that, like, if I'm playing against Ubel and they normal summon Samsara D Lotus, I'm kind of starting to think that it's right, if you are on Maxi, to just use it in response to the summon while Samsara D Lotus is still on the field. Like, yeah, they might just end their turn, but actually, you know what? This would be a great time to look at some stats. How many Ubel builds are on Gamma right now? Because that's the kind of thing where knowing that information determines how worth it that is. Alright, let's see here. We're going to look at Master Duel meta too. 47.9, so we're on that up to 50. About half of Ubel decks are on Gamma. I mean, that's a fair amount. I don't think it would be remiss to assume that your opponent is on Gamma. I could especially see that... see, you know what? Actually, we can... Oh, we're still on Bronze to Master anyway. Yeah, let's turn it up to Diamond to Master. Okay, so it's actually still the same figure, which is interesting. What if I do it to just Master? Does that change? No, it's still 47.9. Okay. Gamma Undecipher when you on turn 1 equals auto scoop. It depends. Depends on the hand. Depends what they hit. Well, this page is going to introduce ladder ranking as a filter. Ladder, it does appear. Player bank. That's what I'm filtering. That's what I was filtering. Looking at just Master, looking at... I usually just filter by Diamond and Master. Let's see. Oh, and then I also wanted to look at Master Duel meta. Let's bring that over here. And go to... Top decks. Yeah, we'll just pick a Ubel build. I like looking at Master Duel meta because this includes data for tournaments, which I think is, of course, very valuable too. For ice, yeah. I know they're developing it, and I think it does show up on personal stat pages. If you go to, like, if you filter by other game modes, it'll show you events, and then everything that's not an event is what's it called? The rating duels. As you can see, I've not been playing a whole lot of rating duels. Although, to be fair, I also haven't had... I forgot to turn on my Untapped for a couple of play sessions, but... So, from what I heard from them last, which wasn't a lot, but was that they were working on implementing it, so... Does that mean rated duels are not part of the data set for decks right now? I believe that is the case, yes. For both... Let me see, actually. Wait, oh, I need to go to tier list, I see. Yeah, so this would be within Diamond 5 to Diamond 1, and then Master 5 to Master 1. Alright, I want to see some... Okay, here we go. 67%, so that's a fair bit more. So I think it's generally safe to assume that if you know your opponent's on Ubel, obviously if you see Samsara D Lotus, then it's pretty reasonable to assume that they are going to end up being on Gamma as well. So to answer our question earlier, if your opponent normal summons Samsara D Lotus and you have Max C, is it better to activate Max C while the Samsara D Lotus is still in the field or after it's used its effect? And I think that's going to be hand dependent. I think it depends on how badly you need the draw. But if I already had like a starter, like if it was a mirror match and I had my own Samsara D Lotus in hand, I think I would Max C while the D Lotus is still on the field. I think that's worth it to play around Gamma. But if I was looking at a hand that was like Max C, 2 call buys, nib, and triple attack or something weird like that, then I might be a little more inclined to use it on the effect. I was playing through tournament pile for a while and was doing surprisingly well for not knowing half the engines. Oh, are you talking about like the everything pile? Oh, we'll definitely rebuild that for sure. That deck is a ton of fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let's see here. What else is... Oh, yeah, Puri Map, as Toadette pointed out earlier. I've not played Puri Map before. I think that if you're playing over 40 cards, even if it's just 41, like we are here, which 41 is also a number that I would not normally play, but I have a thing about odd-numbered decks. It's not practical in any regard, but I just like decks to be even numbers. Multiples of 5 are fine. 45 cards, I'm okay with that. 55 is a little weird, but anyway. That all aside, again, just wanting to reach out of my comfort zone, not only with the tech choices, but also the main deck size. And actually, I can show you my source for this deck. Let me go back to here. So the way that I found this particular list is I went up to decks, and oh, the presets are still here, perfect. I sorted by win rate and wanted a minimum of 100 games. I feel like 100 is a very decent sample size for ranked ladder, and this top build was actually the one that I took. Now, I think that I actually want to try one more similar to this one down here, especially because although it doesn't have quite as high of a win rate, it has about 4 times as many games represented overall. But this was pretty much the list here. The main deck is pretty much card for card the same. I did change a couple of things about the extra deck. The extra deck was on Mannequin Cat and Chaos Angel, but I switched over to... I took out Mannequin Cat for Cross Sheep, because I think I just value the combo lines that Cross Sheep offers way too much. I did kind of want to try Mannequin Cat. It sounded interesting. And then... Let's see. Or was that deck before Typhon? No. That deck was post-Typhon. I filtered for... So... Here, let me show you. Go back to here. So this is previous meta, but that's from the release of Eternal Partners until 2 days ago. The metas separate by when packs release. So current meta is the Master Saga. That's why I didn't do current meta, because it's far fewer games, right? It's only a couple of days worth of data. Whereas previous meta is a little over, it's like most of last season, right? So this is like when... And also Ubel and Typhon released at the same time. So this is definitely when Typhon came out. But I was actually just about to say this too. The main reason that I played Typhon over Chaos Angel is because I own a Royal. I think when it comes down to Chaos Angel versus Typhon, it's pretty close. Like, I don't know. If you ask me... They come about as often as each other in my experience. I don't know. We could look at the numbers again and actually see what the play rate of those cards is. So Chaos Angel is played in... Actually, you know what? We can filter... I can't filter by tournaments only. Am I not? I thought I was... Weird. I thought I was a Meta Pro. subscription. Maybe not. Anyway. So yeah, this does include the manually submitted ranked ladder builds, but I think that's fine too. See, I value Master Duel Meta's data too, but when it comes to ranked ladder data, like, I just value Untapped so much more because it's so many more games. Like, it's so much more, like, decks being represented. 8,800 as opposed to, I think, what, for Master Duel Meta, it's, yeah, 86. So, oh yeah, I was looking at that Chaos Angel versus Typhon. Yeah, I don't know. Chaos Angel might actually end up being better. This is just a case where I have, like, the prettier copy, so I think that is going to end up swaying my bias here. Comes down to which one you have a Royal of. What does this say? Yeah, we're still on previous meta. Okay. Oh, yeah, extra deck. Okay, interesting. This one says that Typhon is actually played a little more often than Chaos Angel. Also, I don't know that Master Duel meta even has a way to differentiate rating duel decks versus... I mean, again, it's just things that people have manually submitted. These are all tournaments anyway, so... I mean, that's the thing that's important to note, though, because tournament deck building is, like, notably different than ranked ladder deck building. Let's look at Chaos Summoning Beast for see if that's more prevalent here. 58% as opposed to... well, 54. It's pretty much the same. Typhon and Chaos Angel are just meta calls. I think they're pretty comparable. Yeah, I have the prettier ones. So that's the one that that's the one that I've tended to use. But that's the only changes I made to the extra deck. Was to again, I took out Chaos Angel for Typhon, and then I played Cross Sheep over Mannequin Cat. And yeah, I was pretty satisfied with it. So, like I said, though, there was another build I wanted to look at. And it was this one. Okay, let me copy this. Go back here. Alright. Because this one is... One, it's 40 cards, which I think I do value. And two, this one is on 1-for-1, which I didn't even notice until I was looking at the differences between the builds that the other one wasn't. Go deck building fairies! It's so nice. Like, when you think about, like, the amount of time spent having to type all this, even with the bookmark feature, this definitely saves a good bit of time. Okay, so this build is already on Cross Sheep and Typhon. It's already the same extra deck I was already playing. It's still got Gammas and Chaos Summoning Beast. I mean, this is pretty much what I was thinking of changing the build to. Oh, the other main difference is Nightmare Pain. Which is one thing I thought was a little odd about this build. There's only one Nightmare Pain. I mean, to be fair, you don't really need more than one. But I have had grind games where the second copy was important. I've had one grind game I can remember in particular where I was like, damn, I wish I had a third Nightmare Pain because the game was going on pretty long. And that's the thing, like, sometimes UBEL games just do end up going on, like, for a little while. Also, this build is not on Puri Ree's map, but as I was saying earlier, I think Puri Ree's map is only really important to play if you're over 40 cards. I think the main question I want to ask myself is, how do I feel about being on 40 cards playing Gamma and Chaos Summoning Beast? Oh, I think that other build only played one Grave Squirmer, and we're on 2 here. I think I'm willing to try this. We could, like... We could just, like, add a Puri Ree's map. It's not a horrible idea, actually. You're increasing your overall deck count to decrease your odds of opening stuff like this, but by making your 41st card a card that searches your opening plays anyway, it's like, it's fine. Or maybe Prosperity. Maybe we put in Prosperity and go up to 41. Or we could put in Prosperity and Puri Ree's map, and either go up to 42, or we could cut a Spirit of Yubel and go up to 41. Would you banish from the extra deck? I think it just depends on your hand. Probably stuff like A-Bomb, maybe Almirage, Nightmare Unicorn. Oh, Nightmare Unicorn, I don't usually play that, I don't think. Oh, this build's only on one Yama. I think I might probably cut Nightmare Unicorn for a second Yama. How often do you need second Yama, though? If not Nightmare Unicorn, you could just banish the second Yama, honestly, with Prosperity. We always go 41 if we add more cards. We can do that. What else did the other build play? Because, again, it was on pretty minimal engine stuff. It was on the Puries. It was on this. Yeah, only one of these, only two of these. Crossout and Call By. Is this on Crossout? It is. Okay, good. I was going to say. So the difference is -1, -1. Oh, and then +2 map and 1 prosperity. That's it. Okay. I might actually like that more. Oh, the other build's also on 1 less Nightmare Pain. And also not 1-for-1. So there are other things. What else is this, what else is this playing that the other deck isn't? Oh, the Veilers. I think it might be the Veilers. Yes, it is the Veilers. I don't know. I think I actually kind of like the other main deck more. I like having Veilers. I don't think you really need the third Spirit and the second Gravesquirmer. And then having the Prosperity and the Pure Breeze maps makes sense. Maybe you could cut Prosperity for the second Gravesquirmer back in. Decided to keep the Crystal Beast package for tier limit deck. Toss out Roasting Ground Shadal package. Ready for the third Super Probably. Ace of Spades. Oh, is it the new one? You're talking about the new fusion monster? I don't know. You can't. I don't think you can. I don't think that works with Super Poly, right? I was actually talking about this on a Patreon video. I mean, you can fuse for the first material from your opponent's field, but you can't actually fuse a face down monster that has specific requirements off Super Poly because you can't check it, right? An Ace of Spades speculation, doesn't that need a face down monster specifically with 2,500 or less defense? So I'm pretty sure because you can't actually verify that your opponent's face down monster has that stat, you can't Super Poly away your opponent's face down monster. I'm pretty sure that's right. I had it in defense mode? I don't know what you mean. Like, you can fuse away your own defense mode monster with your opponent's monster. Your opponent's monster having 2,500 or more attack? What is it? Hang on. Yeah, 2,500 more attack. But this material requirement... Okay, so yeah, you did fuse your own face down monster. Yeah, you can't fuse your opponent's face down monster with this, though. So I don't know how I feel about this as a Super Poly target. Like, because you have to have the set monster. That's not the easiest thing in the world. I feel like there are better Super Poly targets. Just the fact that you have to use one of your monsters. I mean, it's not inherently bad to Super Poly with your own monster. But for it to, it's that it requires it to be yours for one of the materials, and it has to be face down. I think the fact that it has to be in face down defense mode is the big ask. I mean, this is a little more generic, and that doesn't really care about attributes. It's obviously the biggest quote unquote downside. Although to be fair, if there was a Super Poly target that just didn't care about attributes, that'd probably be a little too good. But I mean, yeah, if you're playing, yeah, the Shadals, I could see setting Shadals stuff. I mean, I can see setting stuff in general. Again, I don't think it's a horrible Super Poly target, but it is a little awkward that you have to have a set monster. I think I saw someone else asking if you could use this not in the stream today, but I think it was on the YouTube comment. If you could use this to to Super Poly Mimighoul stuff away. And again, not your opponent's face down stuff. I don't know. It's a weird card. It's like almost good. It's like almost there in a lot of ways. Not only in the material requirement regard, but also like, I don't know. This effect is like fine. The attack and defense mode effects are both like fine. You know, it's like, I don't know. If you could summon it by just like tributing the material requirements from your field too, this card I think would be really, really good. But it's interesting. It's an interesting card. So what was I saying? I think I was saying that I like the other main deck more. I thought I wasn't, but now that I actually compare them, I think I actually do. So let's see. Yeah, for Prosperity, like I said, I've been banishing A-Bomb a lot of games because it doesn't come up a whole lot. I mean, it does enough, I guess, but a lot of games where I could summon A-Bomb, I'm usually just OTKing with access code anyway. Sound the Great Almirage, there's like a very specific set of situations where this comes up, and you can usually tell with your opening hand whether or not you're going to end up needing it. I mean, again, for a grind game, it could always come up later, but it's usually a pretty safe bet. And then I usually just get rid of second Yama. I guess in that other build, I would get rid of Nightmare Unicorn, but I usually just prosp for 3 when I prosp in this deck. If you really wanted to prosp for 6, you could get rid of, like, Typhone, Muckraker if it's on a hand where you need it, maybe third Phantom of Yubel, but that's, like, I don't think that's worth it. Because I think that's dipping too much into, like, that's the kind of stuff where you don't really know if you're going to need it later or not. Like, if the game ends up being a grind game. Like, if the game ends up being a grind game, you are kind of hurting for not having A-Bomb, but definitely not Almirage, and typically not second Yama. It kind of makes me wonder, actually, if I shouldn't just put a Nightmare Unicorn instead of second Yama. When does second Yama ever come up for Yubel? I guess to add back the Sharvara in the graveyard to hand. Yeah, okay. I answered my own question. I think I've even done that at least once or twice, but new Yubel deck, everyone's moving off the Fusion Trap. I was actually thinking about the Fusion Trap, Eternal Favorite. I don't know. I haven't really had anything spectacular happen while playing this card. I don't know if I think I might have used the second effect once. The first effect comes up obviously a lot more often, and I think it does tend to be more useful for that reason. But I think the most valuable thing that I really got with it was just another search target for, you know, if you opened Nightmare Pain, basically, then you had another card to search. Oh, second Nightmare Pain, I do kind of want to play that. Why play Trap Super Poly when you can play Super Poly? It's always been my thought process with this Trap card. That's a fair point, too. I think the main reason to play it is that it's searchable, but, again, in my experience playing this card, which most of my Yubel experience has been playing this card, I very rarely resolve. I think maybe 1 or 2 times I've ever resolved the second effect. Whereas Super Poly in general just tends to come up a lot more. That said, I think I would like a second Nightmare Pain. I feel a little anxious playing only 1. It's also not bad to open. I like the Veilers. Could see maybe a world where we cut 1 Imperm, but I'd really rather not. Actually, I could see a world where that wouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm thinking about cutting Imperm. I'm kind of thinking about cutting Prosperity. Maybe one of the Puri Rees maps. Did you know the more Horus Starks you have on field, the more times you can send per battle? It's safe against Yubel a few times. That's actually pretty handy to know. That's soft once per turn. Once per turn. Yep, soft once per turn, because you can only use this effect if King Stark up to 4 times is for this effect. And obviously this is just a continuous effect, so... It does actually pay to have multiple copies of this card in the field. That's cool. That's actually true of opening the Spirit Gates, too. Although you can only activate 1 per turn, this means, like, activating from your hand, right? You can only play 1 opening of the Spirit Gates from your hand face up onto the field per turn, or flip it face up if you set it, right? But these 2 effects are both soft once per turn. So in a grind game, if you have multiple copies of this, you can actually do some pretty cool stuff with just generating a lot of resources with them. It's a Branded Regained Monster Reborn effect all over again. Yeah, really, though. Okay, so this Nightmare Pain. I think I might actually cut Prosp. It's either Prosp, I think, or Imperm. I don't know. It could be the Puri Reese map, too. I guess, okay, that is a... Before we talk about disruption versus searching, okay, let's actually count our disruption versus our starters. That's a good place to start. So, for disruption, and disruption, I basically just mean hand traps here. For hand traps, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're not on Nib in this build either. Was the other one on Nib? No, this one's not on Nib either. How often is Nib actually played in this deck? Oh, 1 for 1. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely want to play 1 for 1. Hang on, I want to see some stats real quick, though. 34.9... 50%. I'm kind of thinking about Nibiru as well. So 1 for 1's definitely coming in. Then I think I'm going to prioritize the second Nightmare Pain a little bit over Nibiru. So I could definitely see... Okay, so what if we cut Imperm for Nib, Prost for 1 for 1. I think I like that. I love this song. Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I have this card bookmarked, and I'm not going to search for it, because it takes forever to find it. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. Alright. And then what else? Second Nightmare Pain. Don't need Prosp at all. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think Prosp is definitely less valuable than Puri Reese map. Oh yeah, let's count our starters now. So I said, what, 13 hand traps? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll count 10, 11, 12. And we played Chaos 7 Beasts, so 13, 14, 15 starters. That's pretty good. Obviously, like, it's not quite as good to open just Beckoning Beast or just opening the Spirit Gates, but that is still a play. It's a pretty decent play. Never understand why I can't easily search 1 for 1 by typing it. Because when the way that Master Duel the way that Master Duel's search works is, like, it's going to pull up every single card that mentions not only the word 1 or the word 4, but, like, let's see. After rendering an opponent immobile by spitting, let's see, this monster closes in. I'm trying to find, like, the word that's catching here. Oh, 4. Okay, yeah. So it's going to include, like, vanilla flavor text as well. And I think it also includes, like, parts of words. So, let's see here. It's a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so this card doesn't even actually have the word 1 or the word 4 in its text, right? But it has 4 is in force and 1 is in reckoned. And that's why it also comes up in the search. So Master Duel search is not only pulling up the word 1 and the word 4 and everything, but if even this isn't even part of a word, it's also going to bring it up. Even somewhere it said done enough. Yeah, 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 totally. Yeah, it's wild. I don't know why it's set that way. It is certainly not the most intuitive thing in the world. And this is why you bookmark one for one. This is the exact reason why you do it, because again, if we search for it, look how long this scroll bar is. Look how long that is. You gotta go all the way down to find it. No, thank you. No, thank you. So, okay, 13 hand traps, 15 starters. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this build. With the updates to this build, rather. I kind of would like to have the third Imperm back in. Oh, and then the second Nightmare Pain was the other thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really value that as much as 1-for-1 or Nib. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know if I want to go down on hand traps to play another extender. Like, Nightmare Pain isn't even a starter. Maybe you do only really need the one copy. Let me actually see something in particular. Okay, 2 of an 89% of builds, 1 of an 8%, 3 of an 3%. Interesting. Okay. I think I might keep it at 1. Yeah, I'm satisfied with this. Okay. So we don't need this version anymore. Yeah, I think the main thing I don't like about this is that it's a little... Like, it's definitely lighter on hand traps. Like, this one is, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 hand traps and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 starters. So, yeah, I don't like that as much. The song before from Monster Hunter? No, it was from Final Fantasy X. I think it was the Travel Bureau song. Oh, we all know this one. We all know this one, right? All right, let's build some more decks. Let's actually look at some more decks. I wanted to look at more sorting by, yeah, Diamond and Master, sorting by win rate, 100 plus games. The next was this Tier Limits build. Let's take a look at it. Beep. Oh yeah, the Monadium deck that I played, I forgot to say this, I think. The Monadium deck that I played recently was also pulled from this list of decks that we're looking at on Untapped. I'll point it out when we see it. Oh, Winda. Am I finally going to craft Winda? I know the alt art one got data mined. Which kind of makes me want to not craft this Winda and see if I can pull an alt art one. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ski. Your replay. Yeah, we'll watch. We'll work on tier limits, then after that, we'll look at this. These replays rather. Pulled when we get alt arts. You could also get alt art construct. How are you searching so fast? So that's one of the very handy features of Untapped, which, if you're at all curious, you use the Untapped command. Using this link definitely helps support if you do decide to check it out, but Untapped is where I'm pulling these decks from, right? So I can copy them, and then once you have the overlay, then you click auto import, and then as you just saw, it'll go boom, 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 and just put it right in for you. And let me tell you something, especially as a content creator who's making like tons of different decks, this like saves me so much quantifiable time. Like, because I play, you know, about 20 decks a season, right? And let's be generous and say I spend 5 minutes building a deck, just typing all the cards and or using bookmarks and like looking at the builds, right? That saves me an hour of time right there. An hour of time just using this, so... Yeah, if you're on PC, I agree. There's no reason not to use it. If you so choose. Obviously, I don't want to feel like I don't want you to feel like you're pressured into it, of course, or anything like that. But this is also very handy when I used to play Hearthstone. I've been using Untapped like even before Master Duel came out. I used it for Hearthstone too. Very, very handy tool. I think manually putting in cards is more fun. I actually kind of agree with that. There are some times where if I'm like for the everything pile deck, we'll probably just like build that manually because that I want a more free flow as opposed to just like ripping a build. But I do like being able to like copy the deck because like I feel like because the art is smaller and it's more like obviously because it's on a website, it's kind of harder to see. So I like just importing it into Master Duel just to be able to get a better look at the deck and also be able to play around with it if I want. So how do we feel about this tier limit build? So this one was, let's look at the win rate. 59.6% across 150 games. That's quite a bit. 59.6 is a pretty good win rate. I would say that like a solid win rate is like 55%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, you know, when we look at the tier list, there isn't really an average win rate at all here that's higher than 60%. So this is something that I found very encouraging when I started looking at these numbers back in the day when I played Hearthstone. Is when I realized that like, oh, you don't actually need to be like a super insane player to rank up in these kinds of games. You just need to be like slightly better than average. It feels like a much more realistic goal to shoot for, right? So it makes me feel pretty good. But so this tier limit build has 59.6% win rate, which is a fair bit higher than the average win rate of 53.2%. I like Gamma in decks like this, because we're doing a lot of milling. I assume, yeah, we're on grass. So, now this I thought was kind of interesting. 3 Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. How do we feel about 3 Rainbow Bridge of Salvation? That's a lot. We have 3 field spells, sure. But I guess it's like guarantees that we'll see it a lot. I guess to be fair, also if you open it, that's not horrible if you have him SETI. 1 is fine. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm leaning towards, and I'm probably just about to cut these 2 Rainbow Bridges. But you know what? I don't own a playset, so let me at least make the 2, and maybe I'll get a royal one. No, dang. Okay. Yeah, but in spite of that, I'm going to cut them. Let's see. The window was the other thing. Here's the thing. If that alt art one hadn't been data mined, I would honestly probably just craft this right now. Because I'm actually sitting on more UR craft materials than I'm used to. Oh, because I didn't do this on stream. I did this during my break. I actually forgot about that. This might have actually been a fun thing to do on like one of these chill streams. I should have maybe saved it. But I actually went through a list of every secret pack, and I crafted a super rare from every single secret pack to get every single free pack I could. And I ended up getting like 90 UR dust out of it. So I think it was worth it. I basically traded like about 1,500 SR dust. I was able to get a lot of it back too from polls and from dismantling cards I crafted and other stuff I didn't need. But I basically turned 1,500 SR dust into 90 UR dust, which I think is worth it. Oh, the goal is covering it. I'm sorry. I have 360 right now. 360 UR dust. So usually my floor that I like to sit on is 300. So I'm even sitting a little better than that. So I mean that's why I'm saying like if it weren't for that alt art window getting data mined, I would just craft it right now. Because I don't really have a plan. I mean, I guess I could still build Synchron. Ooh, maybe we'll build Synchron. Hmm. I don't know. Because I could just craft... Junk Speeder and Trishula. Shit, that's not a bad idea. Ooh, I'm giving myself ideas. But wasn't there another UR I wanted to kind of craft? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Ah, this window's racking my brain though. I don't think I'm gonna craft it. If I'm gonna, well, okay. Because here's the other thing too. If it was just Winda in Construct, I like the alt art Winda, but I don't really have plans to use Construct, so I probably wouldn't really pull for that. However, alt art Tuning and Stardust Dragon were mined, and that's a different story as far as what I'm willing to pull for. So if that's going to be in the same pack, then I'm going to be opening that pack anyway. And if I open an alt art Winda while I have crafted a regular one, I'm going to be pretty sad. Wait for the alt. You have crazy royal luck? Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Royal alt art Winda would be sick. Royal alt art Stardust would be sick. Oh my god. That alt art Stardust looks really good too. Okay. We'll wait on the Winda. We'll fill it with something else. What else does Tier Limit play in the extra deck? Was that the end of the playlist? Hang on. No, I think it was just the last song. Yeah, YouTube does this weird thing with playlists where if you hit shuffle, but it shuffles on to the last song, it'll go to the next recommended instead of the shuffling into the playlist. But might be in their own pack still, like they do with Striker. Oh, that's a good point. They might be in their own packs. Don't they play that Lights when you are curious? We could play it. But let me see something real quick. I think there's better cards we could play. I'm assuming we're on Redoer. Yep, Dugaris. Even on Zeus. SP's here, IP. Got our super poly targets. Okay. So everything you would expect to see there. Baron's in there. I didn't see Cross Sheep. I don't ever make this card in Tier Limit though. Like, I don't know if I'm misplaying or if it just really doesn't come up that often. But, oh, are we on the Agnister Fusion? Oh, you're saying that's a super poly target. I actually could see us playing that. Let me look at some of these other options. Oh, are we on... I don't think we are on Cross Sheep. We're not. But I think I might actually be fine with that. Again, I don't know if other people actually make this card in Tier Limits. I guess in this kind of 60 card build, it would probably come up a little more often. But even then, if I've got the Horus monsters, I'm probably just going to make a Zombie Vamp. I've seen it summoned only in Firewall Tier Limit. Wow, Firewall Tier. That sounds cool. Oh, the song again? Oh, because I reshuffled the playlist. Okay, this is a new song. We could play the Earth Golem. We could play Underworld Goddess. We could play Duel. I probably won't play Dweller. That's probably a bit much. Or summoning a barrier statue on the opponent's turn or something. I don't know. I've never seen Tier Limit do that. Well, I could see it happening, but I don't know if I've ever seen it personally. Yeah, I might actually just put in the Earth Golem. It's between Earth Golem and Cross Sheep, and if I've never summoned a Cross Sheep, then I should probably just play the Earth Golem, right? Let's do that. What about the main deck? Take out Cross Sheep for another rank 8. I was kind of thinking about another rank 8 as well, but I don't know. What do we... Yeah, we only have Imseti and Hoppy. So we're not even on that much of a Horus package, just like pretty bare basic, like bare bones basic stuff. So we're probably just gonna make Zombie Vamp every time. I think after that we can just like have Hoppy and Imseti on the board. I don't think number 90 is bad, but I think I would probably only play it if we're on like more of a Horus package than this. It looks like this build, although it's 60 cards, is still playing like multiple sea mares, multiple griefs. I think that's actually pretty good. Multiple heartbeats is kind of interesting. How do I feel about the thrust? I was kind of thinking about this earlier. Oh, for grass? Yeah. I was like trying to figure out what normal spell we're going for. It's grass. We have meta noise if we really want to set a trap card. Okay, I'm willing to play the one triple tactics thrust. That's fine. Grudix Eternity. It's an edge case tech, which you could think will come more often. This comes up against Snake Eye variants more often, and a Math Mech. Actually, what all decks is Earth Golem good against? That's a good thing to ask if we're... Like, what ends on a Cybers plus a Link? Ubel does not end on a Cybers plus a Link, right? No, it doesn't. This doesn't end on IP. Fire King Snake Eye still ends on a Cybers plus a Link, right? Does it actually? Yeah, it does, right? Because you have the Animal Whale and then they bring out the IP. Well, if they bring out the IP, which they do sometimes, it's not hard to do it against Fire King Snake Eye. Rescue Ace. Does Rescue Ace have a Cybers plus a Link? I don't think they do, because Little Knight's a warrior. It's not a Cybers. What else does Earth Golem come up against? A Cybers plus a Link monster. I mean, basically stuff that summons IP, right? Let's look at decks that summon IP. What does IP use the most in? Obviously, Snake Eye, Fire King. Sprite, yeah, it would come up definitely. Snake Eye variants, Fire King. I mean, it's in Rescue Ace, but doesn't come up that often. Dino, sure. Memento, sure. Spiral, sure. Just a bunch of random decks that sometimes end on IP. But for big meta stuff, it's Snake Eye, Fire King, Snake Eye. Sometimes Rescue Ace. Occasionally Sprite. Oh, Math Mech. I was like, where's Math Mech? Math Mech doesn't play IP. But of course, Math Mech does end on a Cybers plus a Link. I think that's enough. I think that's enough decks. I think that's enough targets. Play Ubel Engine. You could actually play Ubel Engine. I saw someone suggest 2 more thrusts. I don't know, actually, about 2 more thrusts. I mean, I don't think it would be horrible. But I don't think... We don't need grass that badly. I could see playing more of a Horus engine, maybe. But, like... It would need to be Dumatef, and then probably either the second field spell or the third Kingstark. I don't know if I want to lean into Horus that much. I kind of want to alter this build as little as possible. We are on Squamata and Beast. If we're not playing Window, we don't necessarily need those. Because remember, I want to, like... The build that we're trying is this one here. I kind of still want to keep it mostly the same, because I'm trying to, like, branch out a little bit as far as, like, you know, just try new tech stuff. Okay, there's not really much there. What about... Let me look at Master Duel Meta's breakdown again. I think we listened to this one earlier. I might just go to a different playlist because I had to reshuffle that one earlier. Just a bit of a shame. Where is chill Final Fantasy music? Oh, you know what? No, we'll do that later. I was going to say, I have a Yu-Gi-Oh! OST playlist, but I think that's more suited for when you're actually, like, dueling. Effect Veiler? We could maybe think about trying Effect Veiler. I wouldn't be... I don't know. In a deck like this, it is a little weird to play, like, Veiler and Imperm because they just end up getting milled a lot of the time. I think Veiler would definitely be better than Imperm, though. When Chaos Ruler was legal, it was, like, a lot easier to play Veiler because... You know, it would be fine to mill it because it's a light and you could maybe pull it off the... Oh, God, I miss Chaos Ruler. I miss her so much. Chaos Ruler, come back. Okay. There we go. Look at some tier decks. Bestial. Bestial's not a bad idea. Wow, really? Mothman in that many. Droplets in that many. What does this tier limits break down? 3? 3 Trivikarma in 43% of decks? That's wild. Milled hand traps are awesome if you have Hoppy on the field. That is true. Oh, Chaos Ruler, yeah. In this meta. I think about Chaos Ruler in a lot. In a lot of metas. It's very vast as what counts as a tier deck in Master Duel meta. I wondered. I mean, to be fair, yeah, we do see a few builds here that have, like, a lot of these sub-engines here. 3 Trivia with Dangers is fine in 40. That's fair. That's probably also why Mothman is seeing... There's probably a lot of danger builds. I don't know. I don't know that I see that many over here. Well, I see 2, I guess. Okay. I mean, Bestials do play pretty well against Ubel, don't they? Could see wanting to include them for that reason as well. Although now with 4 slots open, I am kind of thinking a little more about an extended Horus engine as well. Could also do both. Like now throwing in Dumatef, a second field spell, and a 3rd King Sark is like looking a lot more feasible. We could also do like Dumatef, 3rd King Sark. And then, like, Magnum Hut Druid Swarm. I think we're playing all the relevant tier cards, aren't we? Oh, I also wanted to kind of do this. I'm going to take out one of the Heartbeats and play a 3rd Grief. Or do I want to keep it at 2 and 2? I'll keep it at 2 and 2, actually. I'll experiment. That's fine. Are we still on shuffle? We are still on shuffle. I actually want to keep this not on shuffle so we don't run into that same problem again. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's add more Horus cards. Could give you extra distribution. Okay, so if I'm going to play more Horus cards, it's definitely going to be Dumatef, and then... If I'm playing the 3rd King Sark, maybe I just play a 2nd field spell instead. Yeah, I think I like that more. Do I want to play Bestials, or would I rather play something else? I don't know, I'm still a little on the fence about Bestials. Oh, I missed the Nessies here earlier. Call buys, are we on call buys? I'd probably rather play call buy than Bestials. Like, obviously I can't use call buy as a hand trap, but call buy has more general utility. Plus, Magnum Hut and Druid Swarm aren't, like, particularly good to mill. You don't really do anything in the graveyard. Like, when Chaos Ruler was legal, it was a little more fine because they were dark monsters, but that doesn't really matter nowadays for pretty much anything in our deck. So I might just do call buys. Droplet makes a lot more sense if you're on like 3 Trivikarma too. Yeah, I'll play call buys. We'll round it out with that. 1 Horus Field, 2 call buy, cross out. We are on Nib, aren't we? I didn't even realize that. That's kind of wild. I think I'm not gonna play cross out. Mostly because we're not playing Valor in Imperm. I think that there's kind of like... You need to have so many common crossout targets, I feel like, to make it worth it. I like to play crossout if I'm playing Maxi, Ash Blossom, and then some combination of Valor, Nib, Imperm. But the fact that we're not on Valors or Imperms here kind of makes me lean against playing crossout. I think I like this. There is also the option of more copies of Thrust. But I think we're fine with just the one. Could even play a second Talon over the one Thrust, but we play Grass, so I think the Thrust is worth it. Yeah. Let's save this. No. I wanted to change the accessories. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those replays now that we've finished our Tier Lament deck. What do I usually like to do? Kikalos and... we'll do like Imseti and Grass, sure. Yeah, there we go. Alright. What do we got here? Got Ski and Bathe in Faith. We're gonna do Skis first. Skios. Let's check out this Duelist Cup replay. Proud of my damage math. Let's see. We are on Cash Tira. I believe this was an Xyz Cup game, if I recall correctly. Yep. Looks like we are taking the first turn. It's not a bad turn one hand. We do have the Dark Ruler, but we have Shifter, we have Fenrir, we have Birth. We have plenty of things to do here. Gonna lead with the Birth, especially in Fenrir. Fenrir F's gonna add the Unicorn. We can then use Birth to normal summon the Unicorn. Unicorn F, I imagine, is gonna grab the Theosis here, and sure enough, it does. Theosis F, looks like we're gonna use that on the Unicorn for the Rise Heart. Overlaying Unicorn and Fenrir for the Era. Rise Heart F banishing the Big Bang, as well as 3 of our opponent's cards. Blocking out their spell Trap Zone, and then of course using the Big Bang effect for the Fenrir here. And finally overlaying Rise Heart for the Rise Heart. Alright, no nib from them. We are good to go into our opponent's turn here. Standby phase, we're going to fire off the Era effect and bring out our other Unicorn. Moving into their turn, they're going to lead with the Piri Reese map. That's going to get hit with the Ash Blossom here. Interesting. Piri Reese map from the opponent. I wonder if they are on... They could be on Yubel. You can play Yubel in the Xyz Cup. They could be on Numeron as well. It looks like it is going to be some sort of Yubel variant. They are going to use Dark Beckoning... the Nightmare Throne to add the Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast F to add the opening of the Spirit Gates. Cash Tira Unicorn F. I'm going to turn the music down, I think, just a smidge. There we go. Alright, Era and a Rise Heart activating. Rise Heart, of course, just taking more materials. Era blocking out those zones. See, they're going to opening for another Beckoning Beast. Normal summoning the Samsara Lotus with the extra normal. Yeah, they're just playing straight up Yubel here. I had heard about people doing this in the Xyz Cup, but I didn't encounter anyone myself. I pretty much just played Pearly until I got to level 19 and then stopped. I didn't even bother going to level 20 because there was no gems for it. Oh, I need more water soon. I think I'll actually do that after this game. I'll grab some. Okay, so we're blocking out more zones. Nightmare Throne's going to get them the Terror Incarnate. Some people played Yubel and I never understood their endgame. I think the endgame is to just use the Nightmare Pain damage reflection with like the main deck Yubel monsters is the win con. And you can also make rank 10s too. For the burn as well. Pickle Placebo with the sub. Resubbing for 9 months. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate that. And we are filling up that goal for viewer duels. That could still happen this stream. If it happens, if we do get the goal later on in the stream, like in the latter half, then we'll probably just save it for the next stream. But, ooh, Sky Crisis coming down on the opponent's field. Bouncing a Rise Heart, so no more banishing, although we are still blocking quite a few of their zones thanks to the era. They're going to set a couple of cards and then pass. We're drawing Shifter. Not the best draw here, but I was going to say not the worst, but it doesn't really do much here for us, unfortunately. Era does get to protect itself from the Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. Looks like Eternal Favorite. Going to bring back the Spirit of Ubel as we summon Scare Cash. Got Fenrir. Go to attack mode. Birth for Unicorn. Unicorn for Theosis. Fenrir is going to add the Ogre. And then we can normal summon the Ogre with the Birth. Theosis F on Ogre for another Scareclaw Cash. Fenrir is going to battle into the Spirit. Banishing the Typhon, we do get to battle over it because the Scare Cash negated it. Spirit of Ubel is still going to activate. However, the Scareclaw Cash shares are going to continue to negate. We are still going to take the damage from Nightmare Pain, but it's definitely going to be enough that we're going to be able to live anyway. And in fact, I believe we actually do still have lethal here. 20 plus 26 plus 26, because 26 plus 26 is 54. So that's 70... that's 8,400, I think, damage. That's good. That's good. There were 2 phones. Oh, were there really? Wow, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, getting in that OTK, adding up that damage there. Excellent dual ski, and we even blocked almost every one of their zones in the process. Oh, was it exactly 8,000? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because 26 plus 26 is 52, not 54, right? And then 52 plus 28 would be exactly 8,000. Yep, I just did the math wrong. So, nearly timed out doing the math in my head. Hell yeah, good stuff. Ooh, got another replay coming in from Alnick. We're going to watch Bathe in Faiths first, but before that, I'm going to go refill my water super quick, and I will be right back. Excuse me. Alright, I am back. Hey, no riots now. Nah, you can riot. You can riot a little. Alright, Bathe in Faith. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to remember if your daily mission or another name. I can't remember. I'll just type in the number here. 680. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, just the one here, I see. Okay. A little riot is a treat. See? Yeah, you get it. Alright, so we are on Pearly for this one. Let's see what we're up against here. I think this was regular ladder. Oh, no, never mind. It's the Xyz Cup. Alright, we're going second. We did open Imperm, as well as a bunch of spells and Per Lily. Looks like the opponent's on some mount of Horus. I did see a Lava Golem go there, so I wonder if it's, could just be playing that for going second in general. Let's see. Ross Fear Mode as well. As evenly matched. Dang, lots of going second cards, but I guess to be fair, you can just pitch them. Oh, it's gotta be the stun variant, right? If they're gonna go for Giant Trainer. Yeah, although Horus is an engine that's used in a lot of decks, you can actually... Oh, that's a good Imperm. That's a good Imperm. You can usually tell what variant they're on based on what they go into. And if they go into Giant Trainer, they're probably just on stun, digging for Floodgates. So, No floodgates for them, though, as we had the imperm for that giant trainer. So we're going to normal summon the Pearly, grab the My Friend. My Friend's going to reveal the Sleepy Memories there. We're going to use the Sleepy Memory, pitching the driver for Pearly. Pearly effect to reveal our top 3. Ooh, not the best kitty, unfortunately, not finding us a spell there. We can still use the Pearly effect to copy the in-graveyard Sleepy Memory, going for the Noir here. Going to activate Happy Memory next, and chaining the Pearly Noir will let us attach it and set the Yeep as well. All right, Happy Memory, and then we got the Pretty Memory. We're going to chain the Noir again. And then we are going to sack off the Pearly, attach the King Sark, so that'll keep them off their ability to recur the Horus engine. Very, very good stuff. So now, after drawing off of the Noir during the standby phase, we get to yeep into the X-Pearly Noir. And get another draw in the process. I imagine we're probably going to use the effect on Giant Trainer before the main phase. That way they're not able to get the draws. And Delicious Memory is a pretty good top deck there. Okay, they have Feather Duster for the My Friend. That's whatever. And then, yeah, okay, so that's all they've got. Okay, Yeep on the Pearly during the end phase. Going into our turn, we're going to draw Max C. Turn the X-Pearly to attack mode. Battle. And then Zeus. Yep. Seems like a pretty good game plan against the stun deck. We can just sit on Zeus and, yeah, pretty easily win the game from here. It's even a 5-mat Zeus. They're not even on Morganite either. Like, it's a little rough when they do activate the time-tearing Morganite, and then, they set the Rainbow Bridge, and we ended up blowing it up. I mean, to be fair, I think it's fine. I don't know, it's interesting. Like, that's one of those situations where one face-down card, you know, it can be kind of debatable. Because, like, if you know it's stun, it's probably either going to be something like a flood. I mean, I would have expected a Rainbow Bridge. I would have gotten punished by that too, for sure, if I'd activated there. But thinking about stuff like, okay, if they have a Floodgate or a Solemn Judgment, do I really need the Zeus right this second? I would be a little worried if it was Solemn Strike, or Iron Thunder, because you could be walking into an Iron Thunder. That is kind of something to consider with Zeus going into, like, back row, but I didn't even think about the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. They can't play Morganite because Himsetis is a hand effect. Oh, that's right, you can't play time-tearing Morganite in Horse Stun. I didn't even think about that. This is not a fat cat and eats your cards. Do people hate Pearly? I don't know if I see people talking about Pearly like that much. I don't see much Pearly hate out there. I see lots of Snake Eye hate, a decent amount of Yubel hate. Most of the Yubel hate comes from the board getting super polyed, but super poly is definitely dwindling, I think, as far as who's all playing it. I see a little bit of tier hate. See a lot of cash hate, of course. I don't see that much Pearly hate. I find hate for everything on r/Master Duel. That is true. There's definitely no denying that. Oh my god, we're going to get so many draws here. Oh, and an 8-mat Noir? That's huge. People hate Yubel? Yeah, I've definitely seen people be like, grr, Yubel. They're so annoying. How do you deal with them? They just super poly your board and reflect all the damage and grr, you know. So they are going to summon a Lava Golem to our field, which does actually still proc the field spell and the My Friend. So, also thanks to the Pearly, we get to recycle our extra deck monsters, as well as the Pearly that's in our graveyard as well. Okay, adding back Sleepy, Delicious, and Pretty. And then we can special summon the Pearly. Pearly effect can activate here, grabbing us the Stray Pearly Street. Triple Tactics Talent, but to draw 2. That's not that big of a deal. That kind of is, though. The Walls of Imperial Tomb, adding the Kabesnif here, but mostly just having that on the field. Because that's already treated as King Sark, but yeah, now they can just go for a King Sark this way as well. Alright, here's all their Horus monsters. Ugh. We do have the Veiler for the Dumatef. We have a call by, we can just, chain the other Veiler. So, okay, this actually isn't quite that bad with the Dumatef negated. They have to crash it with Imseti if they want to deal damage here. Seems about what I expect from Pearly versus Stun. They can't establish full gates first. It's very hard to out-resource Pearly. Definitely, yeah. And again, without the time-tearing Morganite, that's especially true. When you're in that grind game state, drawing 2 every draw phase is so important. Oh, what is this? Hang on. Agion the Sea Castrum. It's a rank 8. I haven't seen this one. The rank 8 monsters that Horus players find. It's kind of funny. Machine the 2 level 8 monsters. During either player's turn, you can banish 1 random face-down monster from your opponent's extra deck, face up, and if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to the banished monsters. Wow, Unicorn at home. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card and target 1 of your opponent's banished Fusion Synchro or Xyz monsters. Return it to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with the same monster card type, Fusion Synchro or Xyz. That's kind of cute, actually. That's not bad. So, okay, so the banishing effect does not take an Xyz material. It's just an Xyz material if you want to destroy. Yeah, I mean that's not a terrible card. It's like, it is a little awkward that this budget unicorn effect is on a rank 8. It's not like the most accessible thing in the world, but it's there, you know? Anyway, let's see. They're going to set 1 and then pass back over to us. What did they banish from us, actually? It was our Lyrilusks. They got our Lyrilusks. That's actually completely fine. Very conditional. Yeah, it's like budget unicorn and conditional Trident kind of rolled up into the same card. Which, again, is not inherently bad, but on a rank 8, it's a bit much. Oh, we got the Talent Steal on the number 38. After baiting out their Hope, Pearly here is going to not find anything, but we can go into the Pretty Memory here. Or go into the Beauty via Pretty Memory. And, yeah, we don't really have to worry about battling into this, or dealing with this, rank 8. That's actually really funny that it banished, Lyrilusk monsters. Because I was like, why doesn't it have the attack points? Doesn't it gain attack? And it's like, oh yeah, it takes the attack of whatever it took. And it took the 2 Lyrilusk monsters, which each have 0 attack points. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, activating Hope. They definitely did that a little bit early here. I mean, against Pearly especially, you gotta be a little choosy when to use the Pearly. So, good stuff. Thank you, Bathed in Faith. Got a couple more here from Alnick as well as Infinitum. That one just came in here. Let's check out Alnick first, and then we'll watch Infinitum 213s. All right. Latest replay against Josh, who was on Blue Eyes. It was a good duel having to out Psychic and Punisher. Let's see what we got here. We are on, it's Alnick, so of course we are on No Veiles. Let's see what we got here. I am Legend F14. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well today. Okay, so we're leading with Fenrir. That is going to successfully bait out the opponent's Veiler. They do have an Ash Blossom for our culinary confection. I'm not even going to try to say the French half of that name. Ah, yeah, time to cook. All right, going for the level 1, setting 2, and then passing back over to our opponent here. All right, they're leading with Dictator of D, sending the Blue Eyes to special. Fenrir F, we're just going to banish the Dictator of D. Looks like they have a Lubellion as well. Big Master Duel fan, love to watch other people play. Hell yeah. Alright, so Magnum Hut coming down, sacking itself for the Lubellian F. Or it's getting sacked to summon Lubellian, rather. And then they actually summoned the Chaos Emperor, the Pendulum one. That's cool. Alright, so Dictator of D coming back again. They have the Galaxy Spiral Serpent. We're going to imperm that. Or Galactic Spiral Serpent. Okay, going for a rank 8 here. Let's see what it is. Zombie Vamp, okay. I saw Druid Swarm there. Hang on, what all did they mill? It was Duality, Valor, Druid Swarm, Melody on their side. On our side, it was the Ash Blossom, Chef Special, Crossout, and Ash Blossom. Okay, so using the Graveyard effect of Duality, target a light and dark monster graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, then draw one card. Shuffling back the Valor and the Druid Storm, getting that draw. Now sinking the Ash Blossom Lubellian. Alnick did mention having to play around the Psychic End Punisher. And here it is, coming out in defense mode, using the effect on the face down card, the Culinary Confrontation. We're going to chain that here. Summoning the Novelis to our side. God, these French names, I have no idea. And then we're summoning the Patiselle to the opponent's side. Alright, excavating, finding another level 1 here. Moving to battle phase. Gaining attack with the Pep. Pep is in defense mode. I noted that earlier. I wonder why that is, but definitely don't mind too much. I wonder if it was to stay... Well, they could have just battled over one of our defense mode monsters if they wanted to stay at lower life points. Alright, so Pep at the start of the battle phase is going to gain its stats. Druid Swarm also coming down here. Banishing the Blue Eyes to summon itself. Brains of Regain going to put that Blue Eyes right back into the deck to draw. Looks like we're going to battle and then pass. To get our life points lower. Okay, that makes sense, yep. So now the Pep is no longer unaffected. Alright, Staff Recipe followed up by the level 1 F. We're going to summon out the level 3. As well as a token. This is one of those games where, like, one of those Novelia is just one of those decks where I'm more narrating what's happening because I definitely don't know intricately how this deck plays, but I do know that you don't want to target stuff. Like, if you target Novelius monsters, you are not in for a good time. Okay, so Brains of Regain's activating. We're gaining a couple of our effects here. Alright, Pep banishing our trap card. Melody of Awakening coming down next. Pitching Lubellian to add Blue Eyes Alternative, and I imagine Blue Eyes. Oh, Blue Eyes Jet. Okay. So they might already have a Blue Eyes White Dragon in their hand. Oh no, they're about to add it, I see, with the Chaos. Yeah, that makes sense. So play around the Novelia. Oh, they can only tribute attack position monsters. Good to know, good to know. Is Pep immune to that still, though? I mean, obviously not when... I don't know, Josh's life points are lower now. When it activates a card or effect or so, you contribute one. And if you do... I think in attack mode Pep, if the controller's life points are lower, would still be immune to the targeting, right? I'm gonna try the Sprite Magia deck DK made. Oh, that's why people were asking. Okay. I know I didn't realize he had made one. I'll check out the list here. Because someone else was asking about Dragon Master Magia Sprite earlier, and I was like, is that just because I play Sprite or what? But no, okay. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. We'll check it out after these replays. We'll see what that's all about. Alright. Got another one of the level 1s here. Field Spell. Let's just put it back for a draw, finding an Imperm. That Pep gaining more and more attack points, but by battling into it, we can just manage to keep our life points lower and keep that Pep affected by activated effects, which sure enough is going to help us out here. Soldier 1876, so we got a replay there. We'll go ahead and check that out after Infinitums. Alright, Dynamundo. Oh, Dynamundo, that's cool. Dynamundo's a really cool card. It's too bad it doesn't get to see play in more decks, but I think it can be quite effective. Alright, got another one of level 1s coming down here. Yeah, it's cool to see people chaining replays. It's cool to see replays from people we don't see quite as often either. Very much appreciated. Love watching y'all's games. Ooh, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. All right, let's see what they got here. Imseti pitching itself in Blue Eyes. We're just going to fire off the Maxi right here. Definitely good to do because they draw a card as well as adding the King Sark, and they could draw like Ash Blossom or Gamma or something. So chaining Maxi there to play around that's definitely good. King Sark pitching Jet to send Dumatef. Getting draws off that Maxi. And then tributing their Imseti to summon the Belgril. Something, I don't know. They do get to use the Dumatef effect, but we're just going to negate that. I was going to say, it only would have been for one draw anyway. Ringo Worm is their last card. Novelius feels themed like a villain of the week deck in GX. I mean that as a compliment. It does, doesn't it? I think GX did actually have its own exclusive cooking deck that was not nearly as cool as Novelius is. I think Arc V had a different anime exclusive cooking deck. I think there were 2 anime exclusive cooking decks that never came out. They just made Novelius instead. Which again, I think Novelius is... Actually, I don't remember either of them that well. Alright. Finishing off with the... That's actually kind of funny. We finished them off while they had like nothing on field, nothing in hand. We had a full hand and a full board. That is definitely what I would call a true grind game there. Good stuff. Thanks, Soundlick. Arc V cooking deck, which is impressive. It was weird. The Arc V cooking deck was really weird. It was about summoning all these like big level 10 monsters. GX had the hot sauce deck. It had that, but there was also a cooking deck because it was like the old teacher from Bra Yellow played like a soup deck where he had like a cooking pot and like a potato monster, a carrot monster. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's one of the more forgettable episodes, honestly. But oh, the stew deck that acted like Macrocosmos. That's okay. So I wasn't making it up. I did not remember the Macrocosmos aspect. That's kind of cool. They'll like it banishes monsters by making them into a soup, or banishes cards by making them into a soup. That's good. All right, let's see here. Next up, we have Infinitum. Let's take a look here. And then 5. Okay. All right, my only public replay against Polaris. We are on Ubel. I think you said earlier that this was a going second game. Let me scroll up in chat a little bit. Going second against Manadium. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, going second against Manadium, no hand traps. These stuffed monsters are so much food. Oh, I do kind of remember that now. Okay. Ooh, Upstart Goblin. Wow. That's interesting. That's an expensive Manadium deck. Manadium's already expensive enough, and you're playing Upstarts too? Wow. Okay, so going for the field spell, getting Vise has got the Imagining, revealing the Starfrost, drawing 2, putting 1 back. Manadium Imagining is just such a good card. Because you don't even have to put back the card that you revealed. They're on Chicken Game too? How expensive is this Manadium deck? Jeez. Alright, so now they got the Scareclaw Arrival. Bringing back the right card. Sinking for 10. Making the Baron de Fleur. Brimheart gets to pop Meek to special. Now we get Rim, Meek, and Calarium effect. That's pretty good, actually. Alright, level 2 Meek, level 4 Meek. Rim adds the third Meek. I guess that kind of makes sense. I was trying to well, does it? I don't know. I was trying to figure out if like we're gonna summon the third Meek. Maybe not. Adding it to hand feels weird though. I feel like there was a better, unless they're already holding the counter trap, which they might be. Okay, making Dissipator, so they're not using Crimson Dragon here. Alright, bringing back the Starfrost, sinking for... Oh, they're on the Ice Blade, or Ice Jade, rather. Gamir Adrenine. And then they're going for IP. Oh, interesting. Okay, so... They're going to bring her back? How's this going to work? I'm curious to see what they do here. Because they linked her off, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, I think they linked her off. That was interesting. Okay. Let me see that again. Okay, so... Yeah. Calarium. She comes back if a card is banished. Oh, that would make sense. Okay, so they made Dissipator. Banish for Astrolaud. Yep. Dissipator bring back Starfrost. Synchroed into Gamir Adrenine. If a card is banished by your opponent's card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. Okay, so it does have to be by the opponents, though. So I guess they're kind of counting on that a little bit. So Lightheart came back, and then they linked Starfrost and Adrenine into IP. Linked IP and Lightheart into Cross Sheep. I don't know why we didn't just do these two into Cross Sheep. Or like these two, rather. Couldn't they have kept this on the field? Banish, Astrolaud. Cross Sheep, Special. Since then, I think they could have kept the Adrenine on the field. Couldn't you have just gone Lightheart plus Vysis into Cross Sheep? I don't understand making IP unless you were gonna... Oh, I guess they want to bring it back with Elf. That would make sense. Okay, I think I understand where the opponent's coming from. I don't know if I would have played it that way, but I get their reasoning. Okay, we're leading with Phantom of Yubel, which is definitely very smart. Adding the third opening of the Spirit Gates. Alright, getting the extra normal summon. Then making Yama. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how we play through this. Yama for Sharvara, Elf for IP. Okay, so that was their plan. Baron Omni spell speed 3. No, it is not. It is spell speed 2. The only thing that is spell speed 3 is Counter Trap. That is the only thing that is spell speed 3. Because you can chain to Baron's Omni with like impermanent stuff. Okay, so it's like Baron's going to negate the Phantom, as Phantom tries to negate the Shengyang. That is going to banish the Nightmare Pain, as well as the Dark Beckoning Beast. They're going for IP right now as well. Wow, they're just using all their Disrupt right now for SP. SP is going to banish the Yama, which we can chain Sharvara. That's good. I was just about to say, yeah, if SP targets one of the Fiends, we have the Sharvara, so that's good. Oh, but they're going to Dissipate or negate the Sharvara, which is not good. Alright, so we are making Typhoon. You went to enter battle phase. Ah, I see. That's what triggered everything. So we're going to battle over the SP, set one card. That, of course, being the Spirit Gates. Bouncing their Dissipator and then passing back over to them. With Shenying and Baron de Fleur and a second Monadium Imaginings. Wow, are they playing too? They would have to be, right? There's no way that they recycle that. I mean, I think this card is good, but I don't think it's good enough to play 2 copies. Although they are also on Upstart and Chicken Game. So this seems like a weird, like, turbo-y kind of Monadium build. They're just trying to, like, turbo out their combo as quickly as possible. Which is, like, fine for going first. I think this makes your deck even more vulnerable going second, though. They have to be playing striker cards. They gotta be. They could be. Alright. We're taking some damage. Oh, excuse me. But that's fine. I don't really care about taking damage here. They normal the Meek and then Abscissioned, right? Colarium for the Meek back. Playing a new Colarium for Rimheart. I don't know why they searched for Meek, because they never did set the counter trap. So they must not be playing it. Which would kind of make sense if they're playing like all these upstarts and chicken games and second imaginings and second Abscission too. That's a little weird too. I mean, it's not the most weird to play 2 Abscission, but wait, are they on 2? I could have sworn they played one earlier. Hang on. They did, okay. Okay, they're making Dissipator again with Crimson Dragon this time. We have 3 extra deck monsters left. Actually, what would their extra deck monsters left be? They still have an Astrolaud? No, they've used 2, so they probably don't. Trisukta's still in there because they haven't used it. Appo's still in there if they're playing that. So it's Trisukta, Appaloosa, and... Oh, Crimson Dragon, because it just went back, right? So it's probably Trisukta, Crimson Dragon, Appaloosa, if I had to guess. Alright, got the opening. We top deck Nightmare Throne? That's really good. We're popping the Spirit of Yubel with the Nightmare Throne rather than searching. They're going to use the Bestial Dissipator on the Spirit. That's actually totally fine, because now we can use, opening the Spirit Gates to get back the Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel can now search, and then that'll even still trigger the Sharvara effect, which is cool. Oh, Amritera, I see. Oh, so they weren't even on Appo. Interesting. Yeah, they haven't used Amritera. I see. Alright, so we get to pop and add the Grave Squirmer. Nice thing, too, about Spirit of Yubel is that it's not once per turn, so... I think the Dissipator negate there was still, like... Actually, I don't know how much information they had at that point. I wonder if they should have saved it for the Nightmare Pain search. Or if they were able to. Alright, here's Phantom under Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep F for the Dark Beckoning Beast. Especially in the Grave Squirmer, we get to link into... is this Appo? This is Appo, yep. I always call her Appo as if it's A-P-P-O, but that's not even the first 4 letters of her names, right? It's it's Apol. A-P-O-L. Alright, negating the Shenyang. And then just we're doing reflected damage for lethal. I mean, yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. That's kind of the nice thing. It's kind of the funny thing about Yubel is that sometimes it's easier to OTK in a board state like this than it is like without it, or without monsters like that, right, to run into. But that big Shenyang, I mean, it was at 3,900, so our opponent could have been at, as long as they weren't at 8k pretty much, like, what, 7,800 or less, and that was an OTK, so. The opponent misplaced seems like they had it all. I was kind of paying attention to how they were using their disrupts. Like, I pointed out that Dissipator. Let me actually go back to that Dissipator. Okay, so Nightmare Throne destroyed Spirit of Yubel. Dissipator activated to put back Opening the Spirit. But we had Opening the Spirit Gates on the field. I don't know. I think we probably should have just saved the negate for the Spirit of Yubel's search effect. Because that's what would have gotten Nightmare Pain. Because Nightmare Pain wasn't part of the equation before, right? So, yeah, no, I think that's where they misplayed. I think they should not have dissipated or negated the Spirit of Yubel pop effect, especially knowing that opening the Spirit Gates was face up on the field already and able to bring back the Spirit of Yubel. And especially also because that effect they negated from the Spirit of Yubel isn't even once per turn, so... Should have saved IP into SP. Yeah, that's also... I thought that was a little odd that they shotgunned that so early, but... Yeah, they could have played a little bit better, definitely, for sure. But GG's. I was definitely wondering, like, after that turn one, I was like, how are we gonna win this game? But that just goes to show, too, like, it's something I talk about a lot, but there are so many people who give up, like, so easily. So many people who would have scooped there, but not us, not us. All right, Soldier, let's check out the replay you got for us here. Oh, I love this song. Yeah, the Final Fantasy VI, it's Celeste's theme. So good. So good. Alright, let's see what we got here. This game against Red Dragon. We are on... Ooh! We're on Centurion Monadium. That's a cool combo. Gonna battle over IP, but they could have brought it back with Elf next turn. Definitely. Not the spiciest replay, just wanted to show off Monadium Centuria. Hell yeah, definitely eager to see this this build here. Alright, so we got the Meek popping for the Starfrost. We're going to Ash Blossom the Meek effect. What board is this? Is this the Danger board? I didn't realize it had a beach here. That's cool. Alright, Lightheart for the Reichphobia. Grabbing the Reichheart, specialing Reichheart, going for the Arrival. Going for the Starfrost. Starfrost and Reichheart going into Baron de Fleur, I presume. Yep. And now we're going for our Centurion plays. I like Centurion, like, even more than I thought I was going to in the long run, honestly. Like, I was really pessimistic when it first got announced. I was like, isn't this just worse Naturio Horse? But it does enough cool things that I'm definitely way into this archetype. It's cool. It's good. Chat, please stand up. And we got that follow-up support that was announced. Oh my god, that level 8 Centurion Synchro is so good. That card is actually just cracked. What are we standing up for? I think it's a Gurren Lagann reference. Something, row, row, fight the power? I don't even know if that's how... I've actually never seen Gurren Lagann. But people really liked that I made a Gurren Lagann reference in my Centurion video title. So that was good. Wonder how good Super Heavy Samurai Centurion is. Probably pretty good. Super Heavy Samurai is a really good engine in general. I was thinking about that when I was making the tier. I think I actually said this in the tier list video too. When I was ranking Centurion, or not Centurion, Super Heavy Samurai. And Super Heavy Samurai ended up being like one of the lower rogue decks on our tier list. And I don't know, just I hear echoes of people on Twitter saying that consistency hits do nothing. And yet Soul Pure Sorta 1 literally single-handedly brought Super Heavy Samurai down from like a lower tier 1 / upper tier 2 deck down to like a mid-rogue deck. Alright, so we're gonna, I'm assuming, go for the Crimson Dragon again. Yep. Oh, you were thinking more of a Slim Shady reference? Oh, they have a droplet. Ooh. Oh, did they not send a monster? They didn't. They only sent a spell. Ooh. Yeah, it's not going to be good enough. We're still going to get to summon the Blazar here. Yeah, I actually really like the idea of Monadium Centurion, because the Crimson Dragon, as we saw, can summon out the Dissipator. We already do that in Monadium anyway. in addition to also being useful in the Centurion package. And that's going to do it. As we negate there evenly, that is in fact going to do it. They don't have anything else. They're going to simply pass right on. I don't even pass right over. They're just going to surrender and give us the W there. No Stardust 10 Synchro. Is there not one with Stardust in the name? Ooh. I've never played Final Fantasy X2, but this is a good song. Thank you for that replay, Soldier. Very, very, very much appreciated. Let me take a look here. I know there's Shooting Star Dragon, but yeah, Shooting Star. There's the Majestic Star, but it doesn't have Stardust in the name. Majestic Star Dragon is a very cool card. This is actually a really good Crimson Dragon target. Like, it's not level 12. Mostly you think of level 12 monsters, but this is one of the better level 10 targets because of this effect right here. This effect right here. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you contribute this card to get the activation, and if you do, destroy all cards your opponent controls. This is an Omni Negate with a board wipe. That's insane. That's actual insanity. Yeah, it's a very good target for 10s. Yeah, no, I don't know if there's actually... Oh, there is Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon. What does this do? Must be Synchro Summoned. Once per turn, you can banish one Synchro monster from your graveyard. This card is unaffected by other cards' effects for the rest of this turn. This card is in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect. You can target one of your banished dragon Synchros, special summon it. I mean, being unaffected is neat, but I think negating cards is definitely better. Oh, there's also Stardust Warrior. What does this do again? If your opponent would special summon a monster's quick effect, tribute this card, negate the summon. If this effect was activated, special summon, this card is destroyed by battle. Or if this face-up card you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you special summon one level 8 or lower warrior synchro monster from your extra deck. Okay, so I mean, it's just trying to do... I mean, it's not a bad card, but it's trying to do different things. It cares more about the warrior synchro monsters, which are like, not like the best. Let's see. Let's build some more decks. Let's look at some more decks. Isn't there a restriction on what Crimson can summon? It can't summon any level 10 dragon, right? I think it can, actually. I think it just summons a dragon synchro monster. Target one level 7 or higher synchro monster on the field, except Crimson Dragon. Return this card to the extra deck. Special summon one dragon synchro monster from your extra deck with the same level as the targeted monster. Oh, we got another replay. Let's watch that before we get into deck building here. Got one from BBMCH30. I'm pretty sure I have added, but just go ahead and type in the number here. I haven't followed you. Let's fix that. Boz, like Boz B. Old replay from February 27th. It makes me laugh when I watch it. All right, let's see what we got here. We are on Branded, looks like. And we're going to be taking the second turn. We are on Super Poly in this opening hand, so that's pretty good, as well as the Aliber. Opponent's going to... Hey, it's Super Heavy Samurai. Speaking of which, Wagon for the Soul Piercer. Okay. Soul Piercer F to equip to the Wagon. And then... God, it's been forever since I've played Super Heavy Samurai. I'm getting a little nostalgic looking at these lines almost. Alright, adding Z Motorbike. Pitch Motorbike for Wakaushi. Yep, place the Wakaushi F. Then we get to place they get to place the Big Benki. We get the special. 10 pools, Chaos Angel, Defleur, and Dissipator, Shang Ying, stuff like that. Alright, going for the Excel Synchro Stardust. Get our Soul Piercer. Oh, they didn't use Wakaushi's effect. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I wonder why they didn't put Wakaushi in their scale. I mean, they just added one, sure, but you need two. You actually need to add one because you need to pen to summon another one. So I wonder if that was intentional or if that was a misplay. Alright, Scales F, bringing back the Soul Piercer, linking into the Cleafort Genius, right? But you don't have a pen to scale. I guess they're just gonna, yeah, place the Wakaushi. Unless they have the other Wakaushi in hand anyway, which they might. No? Okay. They're just specialing the Maxi and the Motorbike. That's weird. That's weird because it was very avoidable. You could have definitely just... They could have definitely just kept that Maxi in the hand. If they had... Am I missing something with that? Hang on, let me make sure I didn't miss that. Special summon this card. Secret material in place in your extra deck face up. Yeah, I think they just didn't do that. It could have been a misclick, honestly. I'm willing to believe that's probably what it was. Let's see. Activate, discard, special, send, add to extra deck, synchro, activate. Yeah, I'm guessing they just didn't, what the fuck are we listening to? Oh, it's Final Fantasy XI. I see the playlist ended. Let's see, what do we got here for playlist? Let me pause this for a second. Yeah, we'll just listen to this one. Alright. Okay, so they have the Crimson Dragon up. This is from February, so it looks like they're going for the Calamity, because this is when Calamity was still legal. But we're going to Super Poly away their other level 12. Oh, that's good. And it's all, too, because they put the motorbike... They had to summon that motorbike, didn't they? If they hadn't summoned that motorbike, we couldn't have Super Poly'd away their board and prevent them from going into Calamity. Oh, that's good. I see now why you wanted me to fast forward to the end there. That's good. Thank you for the replay redeem there. That was good stuff. Yeah, I mean, definitely goes to show why it pays to not overextend a lot of the time. As cards should be sure would be a shame if they were my fusion material. Connection failed, looks like a rage quit. Yeah, if you ever see connection failed at the end of the game, that means that the person, rather than hitting the surrender button, they closed out of the app. They either Alt F4'd if they were on mobile, they just, you know, they did the thing where they swiped it up and closed the app. Oh, so good. Or if they're on console, they just turn their console off. It's good stuff. Thank you very much for that replay redeem there. All right. Oh, yeah, I never bought the new wallpaper. I wanted to do that on stream. Let's do that now. Kingyo Sukui. A group of children enjoy scooping goldfish out of a water tank at a festival. But one unlucky child has run out of money. Never managed to catch a single fish, no matter how many times he tried. Think you'll like the new icon frame. Is there a new icon frame, too? There is. Oh, I love it. Oh, you're right. I adore this. That's great. That's even better than the last summer one. Oh, that's good. I don't even know why I like that so much. I'm not a big summer person, but like I think I like the neon. All right, we're definitely putting that on. Woohoo! All right, let's find a good icon to go with that. That's always just the funniest one. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. The neon aesthetic fits with, and the colors just fit so well with the Live Twins. I think it's just gonna be that. I don't think we're gonna find a better one than that. Like, that one actually looks pretty good. But yeah, we're definitely just leaving it at that. Oh, and then we gotta change our wallpaper too. Hang on. Because we just bought one. Here it is. Beep. I love that they're making. Oh, his mask. This is Shoot, who is this? This is one of the. Is this one of the super quant monsters? Is that Red Layer? I love the. I just love the Goblin Kid arts. So good, so good. These goldfish in the water look really good. I like this one. This one looks very nice. They all look nice in general, though. Oh, it's a Goki card. Goki Red Ranger. I don't know anything about Goki because I wasn't playing when they were like tier 0 or anything. They actually called Red Ranger. How do you even spell? Is it Goki? There we go. Oh, it's not a Goki card. I just used it in my Goki deck. I see. Oh, so is it Super Quant Red Layer then? Neat. All right. Oh, I love this icon frame. I'm in love with it. It looks so good. Ah, especially with the live twins. All right, let's build some more decks. We've only built the one actually so far. Hang on. Where's? Here we go. So this Monodium list is already pretty similar to the one that I actually based my current Monodium list off of this one here. So, oh, Sprite Magia, we were gonna look at that. Oh, I love this song. All right, let me see here. Dragon Master Magia. Hang on. Oops. Let me see this list. Oh, so Gale Dogra. Okay, like people were talking about before. Using Illusion of Chaos and a U-Bell package. Oh, I see. We're using the Blue Eyes Fusion to make it. Okay, this list makes sense. I mean, yeah, if you were going to turn... What does that Blue Eyes Fusion do again? Hang on. One shielding in the deck building? Yeah, something like that. Clue Eyes? No. I need a Blue Eyes. Here it is. Ultimate Fusion. During the main phase, fusion one fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material by shuffling the materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck. Ah. Oh, yeah, so then you just Gale Dogra. Okay, so we're just giganticing for Gale Dogra to send the Blue Eyes ult, and then we just get Illusion of Chaos into the graveyard, and then we use Ultimate Fusion. I see. Okay. Blue's Clues Eyes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, you do it twice. Okay. Oh, and that's how you search the Illusion of Chaos. Okay. I didn't realize Gale Dogger wasn't once per turn. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I would probably agree. I actually don't know if you need the U-Bell engine. I mean, it's fine, but you could also definitely not play it if you wanted to. Yeah, I want to watch these replays. Hang on, let me scroll back down to chat. So it sounds like it sounded like based on the explanation that I guess I don't know how long ago you asked this about the bingo machine or the blue eyes, but it sounds like it's all pretty searchable with thrust, which makes sense. And then yeah, necrofusion, you can set that if you go first. So and I mean, if nothing else, you just can do sprite plays too. Like I think yeah, I think when it comes to like decks that can turbo out Magia, this is definitely the way to do it. Yep, for the Dagra, for the illusion, and then again for the ult. So yeah, we can summon Magia. And we can still do sprite stuff too. Oh, and it's untargetable. That's cool too. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's good. I don't know if I've noticed that. How many people have Pearly? Okay. Yeah, we definitely discard one of the Ash Blossoms. I was wondering if he was gonna do that. Okay, so they did have a maxi. Mm-hmm. So they haven't. Yeah, he hasn't summoned Gale Dogra yet. Oh, they did negate it. That's wild. Is there anything to indicate that this is a sprite deck yet, though? That negate makes a little more sense if we haven't showed any sprite cards, which I don't think we have. Like, this person probably thinks they're playing against a U-Bell deck that's just playing Illusion of Chaos and Magician Souls for some reason. I bet that's why they use the Valor there. Not that I think that's correct, but if I had to guess, that's probably why. Yeah, Elf first, so that way it's in the EMZ and it gives the target protection. Hex being a react, Andy. I was just thinking about that. I was like, this is not the kind of stream I usually do, but I'm not inherently opposed to it if people like this kind of thing. Yeah, because you can't use the sprint and elf as materials. Oh, we're summoning it right now. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, you would have to. Yeah, for Anaconda's not quick effect. Now, even though this person does have 3 cards in hand, and Dragon Master Magia kind of has 3 negates, it doesn't mean we're necessarily like out of the woods yet. I mean, to be fair, we do know, as he said, one of the cards is Ash Blossom, but in a lot of situations, if you didn't know what one of the cards was, there's still a lot of times where they could have like 2 monsters and a spell, or 2 spells and a monster, right? So I think you would still need to be smart about how you use your negates. Not that I don't think he's going to be, but it's worth pointing out. This is on par with SP Pass. It can be. It depends on the impact. SP is kind of dependent on like what you hit with it. Can either be super impactful or not. Just didn't play anything. Also, what's up, Morgana? Does it feel like that good of an inboard given all the trouble they went through? I mean, it does pay to remember that the opponent had like 3 different hand traps there. So like they played through all the different hand traps. But we did go all into the Dragon Master Magia here instead of making a sprite board. Which, I don't know, I mean, the Magia obviously does represent more negates than a sprite board would, but a sprite board has, like, more versatility to it. There's pros and cons. I mean, to be fair, you know, this deck is first and foremost just, like, trying to summon Dragon Master Magia, right? So, I think you're already, like, forfeiting a lot of competitive... Like, even if this is the most competitive deck that can summon Dragon Master Magia, like, this is still not as good as, like, a regular Sprite deck, right? So, like, in terms of, would it have been better to end on a Sprite board or go all into Dragon Master Magia? Probably would have just been better to end on a Sprite board, sure, but, like, at the same time, if you're gonna play a deck like this, then, like, you might as well go all into the Dragon Master Magia on turn 1, right? Like... It's very funny. It is very funny. I think it's more than funny. I think this is a good deck. Like, I definitely don't think this is a bad deck at all. But I don't know if it's better than like a regular Sprite deck. I don't think it is. But it's funny and good. No, they're just gonna concede. Oh, did you see that? Now, I wonder if the reason we cut to this point in the duel, I think we messed up here. Because we were even just talking about in the last game about how you need to make Elf first. I'm not trying to be like, ha ha, he misplayed, but because God knows I do this a lot. But I noticed that. I noticed that the sprint was up here and the Elf was down here. Okay, he did mention that. Oh, so we're going to do it turn 1 instead of making Ver... Well, I mean, you do it turn 1 either way, but we're doing it by just drawing the Ultimate Fusion instead of making Ver Anaconda. That's cool. Using red is a little interesting. Can we have used Elf and then Gigantic... So, like, we could have left red on the field. We could have used Gale Dogra and Elf, and then Gigantic for Carrot, and then Magician's Souls plus Gigantic into Elf. I think we could have ended on Elf, Magia, Red Carrot here. Let's see if... Let's see what he ends up doing here. 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 Let's see what he ends up doing Yeah, we could have. Yeah, we could have been on a slightly better board here. But it's all good. I mean, whatever. People misplay sometimes. Lightning Storm on attack position monsters. Yeah, you would have to do it here. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to. You could use Carrot, but... Call by on the red. I think that's fine. Oh, no, we're using it here. Okay. That's interesting because now we have 2 monster negates, but we don't have any more spell negates. And they are on board breakers like Lightning Storm. Like, what's to stop them from just dropping other like Lightning Storm here, you know? I mean, besides them not having it, but... I wonder why you can, I wonder why you can use Magia in the damage step. Do we ever need 3 Zeus? I pulled 2 from the U-Bell pack, so I'm at 3 now. Oh, activation. Right, yeah. Could see second coming up, but I don't know about 3. I don't know. I actually dismantled my 3rd Zeus before it was announced that it was going to 3. And I did think about that for a moment before I dismantled it, of like, okay, what if it goes to 3? Like, do I want the 3rd copy? And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, probably not. Like, I don't know. Even when I was building like Xyz Cup decks, even for a competitive event centered around Xyz summoning, I don't really know that I played a deck that would have benefited from playing a 3rd Zeus. And on regular ranked ladder, like, what would even... You know, there's not even that much stuff that wants the 2nd Zeus. I think Zodiac would probably be the most likely deck to play 3 Zeus, but I can't really imagine a Zodiac build where we actually want a 3rd Zeus. Okay, so they have the engage, and then yeah, they're just gonna concede. So if they had another, like... If they had, like, a Raigeki as follow-up, or, like, another Lightning Storm, we could have actually gotten punished by that here. Potentially. Okay. This is turn 7. Wow. I just realized that. I wonder what the rest of this duel looked like. Okay. Oh, that's cute. To bounce, yeah, and then we can... That's good. That's good. That's good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's a cute use of Zeus there. Okay. Yep. And then, yeah, thrust because they used Max C. That's pretty good. That's a very good turn 1, actually. So that was pretty cool. Aside from the Dragon Master and Maggie, am I even missing any URs for this list? I don't think I am. So if I really wanted to, I could try this out. But, I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know how much I want to, because, one thing, I don't know, it's not the only thing I think about when it comes to, building decks, but, I think about, do I want to craft the Magia just to play the same kind of gimmick deck that DK did? I don't know. For a YouTube video, it's I mean, obviously, there is the other option to just play it for fun. And it does seem like a pretty fun, cool idea. But it seems like also kind of one of those ideas where, I got I got all the endorphins just watching it being summoned a couple of times. I don't know if I necessarily feel the need to do it myself, but it's not off the table, 100%. There is a part of me that is that is wishing, dang, I wish I would have come up with that. Because that sounds like something I would do, Dragon Master Magia Sprite, but... Alright, yeah, I'm glad we stopped to watch that, though. That was cool. Alright, looking at more of these, high win rate decks here. I think this Cashier build is the next one. It's 1:30 a.m. Ooh, wow. Check out for the evening, but thanks for the stream. Good to be back. Take care, Ski. Thanks for coming by. Glad to have you back. Glad to be back for sure. Thank you again for stopping by. I super appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at this cash list and see how much I like it. All right. Go, my deck building fairies. Build this deck for me. The 3 evenly, I did notice that. Oh, how do I feel about that in Kashtira? I mean, it's one of the decks where you probably have more room for that kind of a thing. But, I don't know. With a deck that's already lacking so much in consistency, I think you should have more consistency increasing cards. Now, this build is on the Sacred Sword of the 7 Stars, which is kind of interesting. I'm willing to try this out. But, I don't know how I feel about these evenlies. 2 nib is a little... 2 nib? That's wild. In Kashtira? Wow. We're not even on 3 birth either. But this, I mean, again, if we look at the numbers don't lie. 58.7% win rate over 120 games for Kashtira. That's pretty impressive. 2 nib is so weird though. I think I would definitely like to take this out from maybe another ogre or something. One thrust, or not one thrust, one talent rather, is a little weird too. A little weird. It's not the worst thing in the world, though. Could even play a second talent instead of the ogre. Something like that. How do I feel about these evenlies? Ugh, normally I hate playing evenly in a deck that's not trying to go second. Why would I think it's more fine for Kashtira? I don't know if I have an answer to that question. So I kind of think I just want to take these out. I mean, we could still play more hand traps. We're not even on imperms. We could definitely still play those. We could play another ogre if we really wanted to. How are we not on imperms here? That's actually kind of wild. I kind of don't understand evenlies over imperms in best of one. I mean, again, the data doesn't lie, but at the same time, it's Let's have it over Monodium. I do use they, she pronouns. Just in case you're not aware, I do not use he, him pronouns. But, no, I think I had Monodium over Kashtira on my tier list, didn't I? I think Monodium's the better deck. But I'll cover Kashtira at some point this format, so it's we'll just build it now. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just building out all these decks that I'm going to eventually cover at some point on the channel. Have I been doing Cherry Blossom sleeves? I don't even remember. Yeah, I have. Okay. All right. Dual field. We've been doing Kashtira. Let's put a Rise Heart in the middle and then Unicorn on the side. Let me see this list again. Gammas, Shifter, Sea and Ash, Imperms over Evenlies, I think is an improvement. I think this list is fine. I'm willing to try out the Sacred Sword of 7 stars. I also definitely don't think you need 3 Birth. 2 is definitely fine. How's the extra deck looking? Oh yeah, it's got the BLS. I never played this card. I spent 500 gems for it, getting one of the structure decks, but... Alright, let's build the next deck. I'm not as enthused about Kashtira as I am a lot of other decks. It's not even that I like super hate Kashtira. I'm not really that anti-Cash. I just don't think this deck is like the most interesting. It kind of does one thing. Well, I mean, obviously it does more than one thing, but it's got like one kind of strategy. I don't know. It's a little one note. That's the phrase I'm looking for. It's a little one note for me. It's another U-Bell build. I'm not trying to play a U-Bell deck that's got 3 evenly in it. I don't know. Again, 170 games over 58.1% win rate is pretty impressive, but I don't think that necessarily makes it right to play 3 evenly in a deck like this. I mean, I've said it all the time on the channel, right? Like you can definitely do well with an unoptimized deck. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Well, except maybe the optimization, but like you can definitely do well with a good meta deck in spite of optimization or a lack thereof, right? I do still think that playing 3 evenly in a deck like this, like U-Bell that wants to go first, is like not optimal, but that definitely doesn't mean it can't do well. Unchained. I've actually been meaning to cover Unchained again because it's been a hot minute since I've played this deck. I want to play it again on the channel at some point. Let's take a look at this build. Monodium Sprite, since all the mana tuners are level 2, but I couldn't get it to work. When Monodium first came out, I heard people talk about doing that, but I never did end up trying it. Mature Chronicle versus Evenly, I probably wouldn't play either, honestly. I don't think Mature Chronicle is that good. So this build is on 3 Droll. Do I think Droll is that good in this meta? I don't think it's bad. But is it particularly good right now? I don't know. Especially because we're not maxing out. Like, I tend to max out on Veilers and Imperms before playing, like, 3 of a hand trap like Droll, right? Also, we're on 41. I might cut this down to 40. I'm not opposed to playing 41. Like, our U-Bell list is 41 cards right now. Oh, they're on 3 Yama? Okay, we're going to have to cut that. I'm not crafting a 3rd Yama. Does he usually play 3 Yama? I think he usually play 2, right? I mean, you could play 3. Where's Unchained? Here it is. Let me see... I'm gonna have to scroll like all the way down. Okay, here we go. There's a few lists. Okay, this top 16 list is on 2. Okay, yeah, this is 2 100%. I think we're playing all of these. So like Stone King Darius would be like the next, I guess, most used card to add. So we're already on. Are we already on Unicorn? Yeah, we're already on Unicorn. Could play like Nightmare Griffin if we really wanted to. Like that's also an option. Typhoon's an option. I think it's... I don't know. Have I ever made Darius an Unchained? What is Darius good for? Just turning 2 level 3s into a Deus Machinex? Is that even good? How often does that come up? I don't know that much about Unchained. I don't play this deck a lot. Joel's good and Unchained because you can turn off Maxi and still make your board. That's true. That's true. That's probably why they're playing it, actually. Okay, you know what? Yeah, when your deck is like a little more vulnerable to Maxi, I could definitely see prioritizing 3 Droll over like more Imprims and Veilers. Okay, that makes sense. I still want to go down to 40 cards though. I might just still cut a Droll anyway, just to go down to 40. We still have another extra deck card too. I was thinking about Darius versus Nightmare Griffin. The 41 cards is cool. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't really have an objective reason. But I guess to be fair, there's no objective reason behind thinking it's cool. I just don't like odd number decks. It just feels weird. 43 feels even weirder than 41. I would never play a 43 card deck. Ugh. 47 feels kind of weird too, but not as weird as 43. 45 is fine. Anyway. I guess Darius could also go into Zeus. Like, you could turn 2 level 3s into Zeus. Okay, that's kind of a deal breaker for me. Unshackle yourself from the tyranny of math. Actually, what are our hand trap to starter ratios? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, I think I might actually put the 3rd Droll back in. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You know what? I'm going to do it. I want to play 12 hand traps. I understand why they were on 41 with 3 Droll now. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll save it. We'll lock it in. I like to make sure that all my accessories are the same across all my decks, just so people don't know what I'm on. Not I think most people pay that much attention. Let's do a bunch of Link monsters, I guess. I will do Rage. There we go. The outro has no music and no Hexlex voiceover? Really? That's weird. There must have been a rendering error with the clip, or maybe I like accidentally clicked mute on the sound clip for that when I dragged it in. That's weird. Okay. Let's examine. I got y'all on a spreadsheet. Do you really? That's wild. And people say I'm paranoid for switching up my accessories so I don't get recognized. People say I'm paranoid for using the player name, but I mean, I've had streams. I had a stream once where I forgot to switch my name from Hexlex to player for one game, the first game of the stream, and after the first game of the stream, my opponent came into chat after the game, so it's like, yeah, not making that mistake again. I'm kidding. Oh, okay, good. What if I was? I believe that there are people out there who do it. Alright, what other cool decks do we have here? Just another U-Bell list. This one's on Mature Chronicle, which I don't think is a bad card. I just think for me, when playing U-Bell, there's probably other cards I would want to play over Mature Chronicle. Ooh, Salad. 140 games. 57.7% win rate. I'll take a little gander at that. Let's see what we got here. Playing Meow Mine. That's cool. And Mirror. I liked playing Mirror in my first build. It's a really nice extender. Oh, are they not on Terratop? That's interesting. I guess it could still come in here. No, they're not. Wow, that's wild. Is Terratop not it? But I want to fit Terratop into this deck. I kind of like this list. I don't personally play Terratop. 3 Spinny is kind of wild. 3 Spinny is kind of wild. 2 Nib is a little interesting too. I might take out the second Nib for a second triple tack. I don't like playing 1 triple tack. I'm fine playing 1 Nib because you can just dig for it off of max C. But I don't like playing 1 triple tack. Because whether I'm going first or second, I want to open that card. Well, I don't have to open it, but I just feel like 1 copy is a little weird. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to make that change right off the bat. But do I want to put in Terratop and Toxonborg? Maybe not. I'd have to take out, like, Valor. I mean, not Valor. Mirror, EMP, Meow Mine, one of the Spinnies. It wouldn't be that hard to find room for it if I really wanted to play Terratop. 3 Spinny is kind of wild. Oh, they are on Sprint. You can send EMP during combo as your link to. But I wonder, but you can't use this as a link material, so you just keep it on the field? Okay, this doesn't have a graveyard effect, so... Yeah, I wonder how they're working Sprint into the line if you can't use it as a link material. So I think sending Meow Mine is definitely good, but, like, what are you doing with this? Is there a way that we can, like, tribute it or something? It's the last thing. Maybe this is just the last thing they do. Maybe you just, like, tack it onto the end of the board. It's up Depression? I don't know. I kind of want to take this out. Do I, though? Without trying it? But the thing is, again, I don't know how to use it. I guess you would have to tack it onto the end. There's, like, no other way to get rid of it here. Sounds kind of baller. It is nice to use Sprint outside of a Sprite deck. Like, Elf, you see a lot outside of Sprite, but never the other Link 2. I'll try it. I think I'll just try this build as is. I mean, hell, it's a Salad deck that got a 57.7% win rate over 140 games. That's pretty good. Considering the average win rate across everyone playing Salad is 50.6%. Like, either this person is really, really good at the deck, or they really know what they're doing. But either way, I think that shows that this Salad build might have something to it. Trap Tricks didn't make the cut. Yeah. I don't know why Magispector got labeled as Winged Dragon of Ra. That's kind of funny. But this is actually Magispector down here. Recently found out that tier players used to run Sprint to send Merly. Yep. I think we had like 1 or 2 seasons. We did not have that long where Sprint and Merly were legal with each other. But I think that happened in MD as well. I think it wasn't that long, right? I think it was like 1 or 2 seasons where Sprint and Merly were coexisting. What's the highest win rate in the game? If we were to account for every single deck, if we go down to the minimum of 20, then it looks like it is this Runic Stun variant, which had an 89.3% win rate across 28 games. Now, remember, 28 games is not that much at all. Like, this person could have very easily gotten lucky and won a bunch of coin flips, right? Or, I don't know, again, it's just not that high of a game count. That's something that you got to kind of figure in, right? That's why I set the minimum to be 100, because I'm really picky with my data, right? And I think 100 games is a really solid base point for establishing, like, okay, this deck can perform, you know, the shown win rate relatively consistently. I think ideally, if you wanted a more perfect idea, you would go up to like 200. But then now all of a sudden, yeah, there's not that many different decks that we can look at. So it even gives you a little thing here that says stats confidence decreases with lower game volume. Merly and Sprint was legal at the same time after the Millers got banned. Oh, the Millers got banned first and then Merly. That's right. Yeah, as you can see, all these decks that have, like, I guess this one has like 54 games, which is kind of neat, with 83.3% win rate. Yeah, but all these like 80% win rate decks have like below 30 games to them. Which again makes sense, except for this Dragon Link deck. It's been so long since I've played Dragon Link. What if I tried this list? 57 cards in the main deck. That's so weird. What is this card? Anisthrocket Dragon. When a Link monster's effect is activated that targets his face-up card, you destroy this card, then make one face-up monster on the field unable to attack. Also, it has its effects negated. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field by battle or card effect and sent there this turn, you can special summon one rocket monster from your deck. That's during the end phase, okay. Oh, they're playing a lot of the weird rocket monsters. Oh, they're also playing Borreload Furious. I do not own a copy of that. 57 card main deck. I mean, I know I said I shoot for, 100, but 50 games with an 83% win rate, that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. I refuse to throw in Gamma. That's so true. If they just threw in Gamma, it would be, also, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, gross. But yeah, if they just threw in Gamma package, it would actually be an even 60. That's good. If it was 58, it would be 2 in consistency. Well, 57 is my favorite number, so they're based. That's good. Alright, let's go back up to 100 here and see what else we got. Can we just look at the Salad deck? Here's Bestial Runic. 57.5% win rate across 100 games. It's not bad. I think Bestial and Runic Stun get lumped up together here. Wait, huh? Is Paleo Runic a thing? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe they don't get lumped up that much. Paleo Runic is a thing? Wild. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it before. Oops. Let's check this out. This is Joshua Schmidt Turbo. So true. Oh, we gotta change our accessories here. Let me do that real quick. Let's go you, and you, sure. Did I copy this? I think I did. I'll just start auto import and see what shows up. Oh, I missed the playset of Duality. Yeah, this bill isn't happening. I don't know. Duality's a really cool card. I just don't want to spend UR craft materials on it. Why is this card a UR? It's so cool. I just want to cook with it. Duality is very cuttable. It is a very cuttable card, that's true. Should be 1 light or dark monster, switch to 1 light or dark monster when their hand or extra with the same original type and level, but a different original attributes. I don't know. To be fair, I'm not even like the most interested in this deck. Aside from the Hugin dodge, I don't know what else the duality target is. I don't either. I might come back to this later. What else do we got here? Another Yubel deck. This one on Shyama. So yeah, it's on Beatrice as well. They're also on the Abyss Actor as well. Mikonko. God, it's been forever since I've played Ignister. I'll copy this one in, sure. 55.8 across 100 games. It's definitely pretty solid. Am I really going to make time to play Ignister this season, though? I guess it mostly depends on what comes out in the pack. That usually affects how many different decks I end up playing, because if there's a huge meta release, I'll usually cover it, like, relatively extensively, right, during that season. Like Yubel. I probably made, like, 5 or 6 different Yubel. Was it that many? I think it was actually about that many. 5 or 6 different Yubel videos across, Oh, I always forget I have the Royal Dark Templar. Like 5 or 6 different Yubel videos across the season, right? So, but I don't know. This next pack, what are the rumors? Because I definitely would never talk about the L word. What's rumored? What are people talking about? People are talking about Ice Barrier. People are talking about Raid Raptor. I mean, Ice Barrier is cool. I'd like Ice Barrier stuff, but I don't think it's something that requires, like, extensive meta coverage, right? I can see Voiceless Voice coming out in this next pack. I don't think anybody's been talking rumors, spreading rumors, that's the phrase. I don't think anybody's been spreading rumors about Voiceless Voice, but we're kind of overdue for them, and I feel like Konami tries to put in at least one, like, at least tier 3 deck, you know, into a pack to give, like, some incentive to pull for it. Not that I'm saying Voiceless Voice is going to be tier 3. I have no idea what tier I think Voiceless Voice will be. I actually don't know anything about that deck at all. But, I doubt Voiceless Voice specifically because Worlds is coming. That's actually a pretty good point. Although maybe Voiceless Voice is still a fine deck to release because, like, it would shake up the meta a decent bit, but would it really change? I don't know. This is actually me genuinely asking because, again, I don't know that much about Voiceless Voice, but would Voiceless Voice coming out be a significant shakeup in the meta? Like, would it be as significant of a shakeup as, like, Yubel coming in last season? I kind of don't think it would be that impactful, right? But, again, it's not going to topple Fire King, Snake Eye, or Yubel. That's kind of the vibe I got, but it could still be a very solid deck. It's good enough to be considered as a deck for Worlds. Do we know, is it the same Worlds format as last year? As far as, like, the teams and you can only share so many cards between your decks? Have they announced that? Like, for sure? Has to be. We do not know, but that's the assumption. Okay, that's what I thought. I'd be surprised if they switched it up hugely, but I guess they could still. There are more teams, though. I think Voiceless Voice coming out will shake up the meta as much as Unchained, which means not much. That's kind of the impression I got, but again, just that's mostly from looking at meta reports, right? That's, again, I don't have intimate or even basic knowledge of how Voiceless Voice actually functions as a deck, so. What is the highest rating on, like, Road of the King that Voiceless Voice ever had? Let me take a look here. Yeah, let me throw this over here. Okay, so this would have been the first meta, I think it was introduced, right? In Phantom Nightmare. Okay, 9 Voiceless Voice, but this is also premiere weekend, so we'll definitely keep looking. Okay, here it is. So below Rescue Ace, below Fire King, below Lab, below, but it is still early on in the meta, so make sure you read the Voiceless Voice section. It's a new ritual deck that has a produce Okay, I just want to make sure I was reading that correctly. Voiceless Voice is a new ritual deck that has a produce some decent results on its debut. Sometimes I like legit fuck up sentences. I don't know. I kind of think I have dyslexia sometimes, but I know that doesn't really like come into an onset as an adult. I didn't have signs of it as a kid, so I don't know. Anyway. Low, places barrier. Barrier adds Saphira, discard to activate prayers. Add Skull Guardian. Saphira, graveyard banishes itself to ritual Skull Guardian. Distributing low, Skull Guardian. Adds Soravis. Then low would special itself. Soravis could special itself during the opponent's turn. Special summon Soravis from deck. We get the full set of Voiceless Voice. Yeah, I'm just like reading through because again, I don't know really anything about this deck, so I'm just kind of like glancing at some of the Road of the King reports. When did the follow-up support come out? Oh, Infernoid was on here for a second. Oh, with Horus cards. That's cool. What's up, Velunar? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. The way that the way that combo's formatted with the long card names. It's funny. Okay, here we're seeing it pretty significantly higher up on the tier list. Just talking about what they cited. I want to see, like, where Voiceless Voices post U-Bell. Yeah, like, let's, I suppose it's, like, fairly comparable. Played Ultimate Slayer against U-Bell. Okay. Okay, I guess I just wanted to kind of get an idea of where Voiceless Voice is on, like, tier lists and stuff. Are you interested in the current Best of One East Asia breakdown for MD? That sounds kind of neat. Is that on Road of the King? Did I miss that? Let's see. I have everything for this list. This looks like a pretty standard Ignister list. I don't know if I'll actually have time to play this deck this season, but sure, I'll keep it. Oops. Oh, a document? Hell yeah. Let's see. I don't know if you're on the Discord, but you could post it there if you wanted to. Wonder when we'll get the rank 10 for the U-Bell. Wonder if we'll get the rank 10 for the U-Bell deck next. Oh, Veradros. That would be an interesting shakeup for Worlds format for sure. I wonder if Vera just dropped randomly in the next pack, would that be enough to make U-Bell better than Fire King Snake Eye? Because adding an Omni to your end board is pretty powerful. But, I mean, obviously that's just adding a piece to your end board. That doesn't really change anything about, like, consistency or playing through disruption or all that kind of stuff. So, yes, maybe. It's not just an Omni. That's right, it's not just an Omni. Because it's like, It's an Omni negate, but then it doesn't necessarily have to destroy the card it negates. It's an Omni that can then destroy any card on the field, so it's better than an Omni that destroys the card it negated. And it can also, I think there's like two other, it's like A-Bomb, where it has like other effects that destroy cards, right? It's easier to OTK as well. It's an Omni plus a pop, yeah. The problems with Duel still stand even with Veridrus. I honestly think that having like a slightly weaker end board compared to stuff like Fire King Snake Eye is one of the bigger problems with Yubel. I don't know that I would be willing to say it would definitively be the best deck if Veridrus just dropped next pack, but I think it would definitely give Snake Eye Fire King a run for its money. I think the answer is like, I would be on this, like, maybe leaning towards yes. It's a Baron? No, it's better than a Baron, because Baron does the Omni Negate and also pops as a spell speed 1 effect, right? Veridrus, when it negates the activation of a card or effect, you can then, after doing that as part of the same effect, destroy any card on the field. So you don't have to, like, because you know how Omni negates, like Baron says, negate the card and then destroy that card, right? Veridrus says negate any card, then destroy any other card. Or you could destroy the same card if you wanted to. So, yeah, it's wild. It's actually kind of insane how good that card is. Yubel's biggest weakness is the lack of a spell trap negate. Any way that's reasonable to get something for a spell trap, Yubel becomes much harder to out. I definitely agree. Like, board breakers are notably good against Yubel. I think that's why we're seeing... I think that's one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why we've seen a couple of decks here, like this Yubel deck on 3 evenly, and then this Kashira deck on 3 evenly. Evenly is a really, really good card against Yubel boards, because right now they don't have Spell Trap Negate. But once we get Veridrus, then they do. So yeah, it's a pretty good card. Fiendsmith would absolutely catapult Yubel over Fire King Snake Eye. I think I definitely agree with that. Board. Oh yeah, Ignister. Choosing the 3 cards here. We'll choose the Firewall Brothers. Actually, I want you here and you here because I'm picky. There we go. I'll rebuild this Runic deck later. How does pure tier fare against Yubel and Snake Eye Fire King right now? I mean, with tier, it's very dependent on what you open and how you mill, right? But I do think tier is one of the top 5 decks in Master Duel right now. I think the 5 best decks in Master Duel right now, in order of 5 to 1, are 5 Pearly, 4 Tier Lament, 3 Rescue Ace / Yubel, 2 Rescue Ace / Yubel. I think they're pretty comparable. You can make an argument for Yubel being 3 and Rescue Ace being 2, or vice versa. I think that's both fair. And then number 1 is Fire King Snake Eye. Card is custom. It is wild how much it does for a generic rank 10. It's kind of insane how good that card is. Okay, that was the Ignister deck. This is another Yubel deck. This looks a lot like... Oh, they're on Gustav Mags, never mind. Oh, they're on 3 Nightmare Pain, too. I haven't seen Rescue Ace in a while. Rescue Ace is probably the most underplayed deck in Master Duel right now. I mean, Yubel in general is overplayed. Like, it's a good deck, but not good enough for, like, how the numbers... Like, how many... Fire King Snake Eye is actually being underplayed right now. I think it's really funny that a lot of people are still complaining about Snake Eye, despite the fact that it is being underrepresented in the current meta. That's why I think it's extra funny when people say, like, there are people who have said as recently as in the last couple of days on, like, I see all these random comments on, like, Twitter and, like, the subreddit. Well, not Twitter as much. I haven't been on Twitter as much, but, like, Even in like the YouTube comments too, people would be like, "Oh, we're in a tier 0 meta," and I'm like, "In Master Duel? What, huh?" And people say that because Snake Eye is still one of the best decks, and it's like, but Fire King Snake Eye, as it stands right now in Master Duel, is so different from pure Snake Eye with 3 Bonfire, 3 Ash, and 3 Wanted. Like, it's so unbelievably different. Yeah, Fire King Snake Eye, while the best deck, is not so much better than everything else. I think Fire King Snake Eye, like, there are a lot of hands that just don't feel that great to play. Like, not even against certain decks, just, like, in general. Like, Fire King Snake Eye, with all the limitations in place, like, it feels like a very fallible deck, right? Whereas pure Snake Eye, when everything was at 3, was, like, it was really hard to punish that deck. Unless you just opened 5 hand traps going first. Like, it was really hard. And by punish, I mean not necessarily in plays from the opponent, but, like, in the deck building phase through your opening hands, right? Whereas, like, it's not even just a consistency thing, though. It's also, of course, the resource looping and all that fun stuff, too. The meta is fair, but so boring. I actually think I kind of agree with that. Even, like, right now, you know, I thought that when Ubel came out, I was like, oh boy, Ubel, it's gonna be like, hey, you forgot Noodle1, thank you for the follow, welcome to the stream. I was like so amped for Ubel, but I won't lie to you, I'm actually bored of Ubel already. Not even like necessarily playing against it, but playing with it. I think it's a fine deck. Like, I don't think it's bad or like boring. I'm kind of done with it already. I got done with it a lot more quickly than I thought I would be. It's not necessarily one note. I don't know if I can put my finger on what makes Ubel feel kind of meh for me right now. There's also Fire King with Lab when they were -20 or something. Because they didn't summon in defense mode. Woof. The power level aside, Ubel gets a lot of free wins just because of time running out and you having to attack them. It's wild. Like, I played a rating duel, like, 2 days ago. Rating duel, so, you know, we're obviously above Master 1 at this point. Or somebody entered battle phase into my Ubel Terror Incarnate while I had Nightmare Pain up, and I was just like, are we still doing this? It's kind of funny. Seems kind of linear. Ubel's, like, I don't think Ubel's any more or less linear than, like, Fire King Snake Eye is. In that, like, there's not, like, I don't know, it's not like Dragon Link where there's, like, a crazy different amount of stuff that you can do. But it's like, you know, there are, like, a set of plays that you generally make. I don't know. How ironic that we have the best meta despite having the most toxic cards unbanned. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it just depends what you're talking about, I guess. If you mean like Baron and Borload, it's like, oh yeah, look where that got the TCG. That sure did a lot for them banning those cards, didn't it? Like here, because you have to react to your own mills. I agree. Pearly. Let's take a look at this Pearly list. This looks pretty standard. Not that that's a bad thing. I actually kind of strive for standard-looking builds. Unless I know the deck super well, I don't usually, like, play a bunch of, like, super weird techs. Necessarily. This is definitely one of those decks I really like Gamma in. Wow, they're even playing the 2 triple attacks. I think this is literally exactly how I would have built Pearly. Yeah, this is literally exactly how I would have done it. I like this list a lot. What's this web or app you're using to copy decks? So that would actually be Untapped, which I can give you a link to. If you feel like checking it out, that's my affiliate link, and using it definitely does help out the channel. But, yeah, one of the cool benefits. And yeah, we're just kind of trolling through Untapped, looking at decks, sorting by win rate with a minimum of 100 games. Just throwing together lists for deck profiles for next season. Using that as our basis, and then kind of editing them from there. If we feel like we need to. This one, I don't think we need to touch this list at all. I mean, this looks great. Again, this is literally exactly how I would build per leap. I don't know if I would play 3 per leap. But, yeah, you know what? I actually am going to cut one of these and put in a nib. But that's literally the only change I feel the need to make here. I think the rest of this list is... The extra deck is what I would play. The rest of the main deck is what I would play, so... Everything is glossy. Yeah, that's another thing. You can set it to prioritize your highest rarity cards first when going through the auto include, which is very, very nice. Because I definitely like my glossy cards a little bit too much, by my own admission. Alright, Cherry Blossom sleeves. I love those Cherry Blossom sleeves. Are there any other sleeves that I like more? I really don't think there is right now. All these Duelist Cup sleeves I'm never gonna fucking use. Yeah, no, I think I like the Cherry Blossom sleeves. Just looks so good. I like the Cashier field. I'm gonna keep using it too. Excuse me. The Sarah sleeves is pretty good. I didn't even need to look at the username to know who said that. Alright, let's see. We got the Noir. I'll just put in the little kitties here. Alright, what else do we got? Stun! 53.3% win rate. Stun had a higher win rate than usual on Untapped this past season. Stun usually struggles to get over 50%, but it actually ended on 52.1. By the way, we're looking at previous meta, because previous meta, the way, for those who don't know, the way that Untapped sorts it is it does it by pack release, which I think is a smart way to do metas. So the reason we're on previous meta is that current meta is since the Master Saga release, which is just the last 2 days, right? So previous meta is since the Ubel pack came out up until 2 days ago, which is why we're looking at this data. But yeah, like I said, Stun usually struggles to get over 50%, but definitely performed pretty well this season at 52.1%. It'd be very funny to see Hex post the videos, I had one bad day, and you have a Stun profile. I did cover Eldritch back in the day. Back when Vandy's Emptiness and Imperial Order were legal. I think I had both of those cards. And I played like 3 Skill Drain, 3 Rivalry, 3 Gozen. I think it's the only time I've covered Stun on this channel. I played Numeron back in the day too. And I remember at the beginning of that video, and this was like in season 2. This was like, you know, over 2 years ago. I told people, all right, this is the only Numeron deck profile I'm ever gonna make, because I don't think you need to know more than this. And sure enough, I think I even dismantled my Numeron networks at some point, because I'm like, I'm never gonna play this deck again. I think Stun gets better the more people are frustrated with the meta. I think it's probably more due to like the meta being particularly graveyard centric, right? So like these D-Fissures are putting in a lot of work. Necro Valley puts in more work. Shifter, I mean, any deck that can play Shifter is at a premium. Clockwork Knight actually matters to this season against Ubel, because Ubel actually cares about stuff being fiends, whereas Clockwork Knight doesn't really do that much against like Fire King Snake Eye, right? Because I don't think Fire King Snake Eye cares at all if their stuff is machines. But yeah, I think so. I think Stun is seeing more success this season because its floodgate options are more impactful. Again, graveyard coverage mattering more, and Clockwork Knight especially mattering more, especially with how much play Ubel saw. I mean, 23.8% popularity. That's about 1 in every 4 duels in Diamond and Master you can expect to play against Ubel. So, yeah, it definitely makes sense. Numerons are good for solo mode. Very true. Very, very true. Emptiness was legal? Yes, Emptiness was legal. And Imperial Order were both legal in Master Duel when the game first came out. They were not even banned on the first ban list. I think they were banned on the next one. Maybe it was the one after that. What do you think of the toy cards? We can talk about the toy cards. Let me just pull them up here. So yeah, in the Master Saga, they kind of snuck in the toy cards. Not just Toy Box, but also Toy Soldier and Toy Tank. This is actually noteworthy for whenever the Whitewoods deck comes out. It'll make good use of this toy package. Because Whitewoods can special summon themselves by sending spell and trap cards to the graveyard. Toy Box sets Toy Soldier and Toy Tank in the spell trap zone, where then once they're sent from there, they can special summon themselves. So, definitely an engine worth keeping an eye on. Not even just for that, though. I think it's a pretty solid engine in its own right. Toy Soldier has the ability to add any level 4 light monster from deck to hand, which is definitely noteworthy. Same with Toy Tank being able to special any level 6 or lower monster from your hand or graveyard by tributing itself. Also definitely noteworthy as well. Magician Souls, Magician Souls can also send these from the spell trap zone to the graveyard, which will also then, of course, allow you to summon them. So, I don't know. I think right now, like, I'm not going out of my way to pull for or even craft, like, the toy boxes, right? My plan right now is to wait for Whitewoods cards to come out, and then once I'm building Whitewood, I'll just craft 3 toy box after they come out. I don't know. Like, again, there is Magician Souls, but I don't know of any deck that can make super consistent use of this package right now. Not bad, certainly, but I think it'll have more applications in the future. Sad Toy Box is a UR. It's not trying to build the U-Build deck, and it's like 7 URs. So many cards to get. Yeah, you can definitely wait on Toy Box, though, I think. Diabell Star is also a card. That is true. You could also Diabell send the toy monsters in the spell trap, and then they'll special themselves. Of course, it is also worth noting that Toy Box pops its own cards, too. But that's a little slow, because you would have to... I'm assuming that, we're assuming that you're using Toy Box's effect to set stuff from your deck, right? Magia and Sprite U-Bell. Funnily enough, we actually watched that video earlier. I haven't built it myself. I don't know if I have plans to, but it was fun watching DK do it. I think if I tried to build that deck and make a video of it, it'd just kind of be doing the same thing DK did. But it was a very, very cool and very, very innovative deck. We had a lot of fun watching that here on stream. Toy Box is soft once per turn. Oh, it is, isn't it? So if you control multiple copies, you could set a couple and then pop them. But, yeah, definitely worth keeping an eye on. But I don't think I'm going to bother crafting or pulling for these for the time being. This Master Saga pack, as you've probably already guessed, I'm not pulling from in general. If I need Heavy Storm, I'll just craft it. I still have not even crafted Change of Hearts, so I don't really feel the need for Snatch Steal. And while I do kind of want toy boxes and slightly want Spellcard Monster Reborn, there's just like, I don't know. If there was like one other good UR for me to pull for here that I wanted 3 of, like maybe I'd consider buying some of these packs, but I think this pack is like just not worth it. Just enough not worth it for me personally. Let's see here. Oh, there's another stun deck right below the first one. This one's on like Thunder King and Fairy Tail Luna. Oh, that is also another thing that I wanted to talk about that I noticed. Let me go over to... Yeah, so for official in-game card usage and win rate report, they actually included a deck usage and deck win rate section again here, which I thought was good. So this is interesting. According to in-game stats, Stun also has about a 53.5 to 54% win rate, but it's for cards that you don't always see in Stun, right? Like, these are the cards that have the win rate around this range, and true, these are Stun cards. But I think it's interesting that the cards that carry the high win rate are not like Fossil Dyna or Clockwork Knight or stuff like that. That it's like stuff like Thunder King and Fairy Tail Luna. Like the extra URs, right? Storming Mirror Force is also interesting for that card to have that high of a win rate. But yeah, it even had a higher win rate than Rescue Ace and Fire King Snake Eye and U-Bell, which is wild. In fact, I think, yeah, Purley was the only deck that had a higher win rate than some of these stun cards. Which that doesn't mean that stun is like the best deck, but it's an interesting trend worth observing. Also, again, interesting that it's these specific cards that are representing that high of a win rate. I thought about that when I saw... oh, it's another tab. When I saw this list here... No, sorry, this list here. I saw the Commandant, the Thunder King, the Luna. Here's the Draco Aura. There's no Storming Mirror Force in here, but... This stun deck had a lot of those cards that were in that upper win rate. Got some Fluandereeze action. With the Sales Ban and the Prohibition. That's kind of funny. Ooh, a couple of Math Mech lists. They're both on Droll. I actually really wanted to play Droll and Math Mech. They're also both on Microcoder. Yeah. I'm not as enthusiastic about that one. Not a lot of these. I mean, to be fair, we're actually kind of dipping into slightly lower win rates here. Actually, okay, I'm going to very slightly drop. I'll drop it to 70. Let me drop the overall win rate here. And let's look at some of these decks now. Okay, I was going to say, let's look for stuff with like a close to 100 win rate. 95 games on this Fire King, or no. Yeah, okay, this is Fire King Snake Eye list. Take another glance here. This one's 92. Oh, that's not Fire King though. That's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at this Fire King Snake Eye list because we actually haven't built that deck yet. Kind of wish more decks utilize normal and tribute summons like Flu. That way we could have more answers to some in general besides back row and monster removal. Yeah, I don't know. The thing about Stun though is that like it's kind of interesting, right? In Best of One in particular, because Stun is a lot harder to play in Best of Three because people will just like bring, you know, back row hate and side decking in general. Plus, you lose a lot of the oomph when they know what you're on, right? Okay, I'm definitely taking Temple out of this build and going down to 40. Not that I think Temple is like inherently horrible, but I don't really want to play it. I'm not like that enthused about playing it. This build being on Kurikara is kind of interesting. I think I usually play a third Ulcanix, but I'd be willing to try Kurikara. So Stun and Best of One, like, yeah, a lot of these, I mean, you're looking at these decks that I'm building, like, I'm not playing any back row removal. I'm not putting Harpy's Feather Duster in any of these decks. I'm not putting in any Cosmic Cyclones. I'm not putting in any Evenlies, any Lightning Storms, but I don't really feel the need to do that for Best of One. Because, like, if you happen to match against Stun, and you happen to go second, and you happen to not be able to do anything because of the floodgates at all, like, period, then, like, okay, if we jump through all those hurdles, then sure, whatever, we just lose the game. And it might be a little frustrating, but, you know, for Best of One, for Ranked Ladder, we just need a win rate above 50%. So, like, I think it's fine to just say we're going to lose those games. Like, that's a very, very small subsect of games that we're going to lose, right? When you really think about it, like, because that's actually a comment, I think, when it comes to deck building that I get, one of the ones I get most often is, like, why don't you play any cards against Stun? And it's, again, for the reason I just said, that's, like, I'm fine losing, again, if I play against Stun, if I lose the coin flip, if they have floodgates, and if I can't do anything at all through them. Because sometimes they'll flip up, like, a Gozen or a Tickboo or a Rivalry, and it's not even that good against your deck, right? Just depending on what deck you're playing, so... Or sometimes they'll play like a D-Fissure and you can just play through it anyway, even if you're on a deck like this, just because of the way your hand is, you know? Yeah, I just can't... Not always going to be able to win them all. You know what? I'm going to take out Duel Little and play a second Promethean Princess. I just find this so much more valuable. I don't even know about more necessarily, but I find the second Princess very valuable. And I, like, never make Duel Little when I play this deck. I actually have not played Fire King Snake Eye really that much in the grand scheme of things. Like, since the Fire King stuff came out. I think, like most people, I just am kind of bored of Snake Eye. Like, especially because I played so much of pure Snake Eye during the Challenger Cups, you know? It's like, meh. Alright, let's change our accessories here. Oh, I fucking love this song. It's so good. Those are like this. I think too much about that sometimes. I swear I do. Oh, also, I do want to specify in the name that this is Board of Snake Eye and Ubel. You know, that's why I didn't disagree with that person who was like, the meta is balanced but boring right now. I actually agree. I'm a little bored of Snake Eye. I personally am a little bored of Ubel. So a lot of the top meta decks just don't really, like, super jump out to me right now. Rescue Ace I feel very lukewarm about. Tier Limit is kind of fun, but I don't usually play it too often. Pearly I don't really have, I feel very neutral about. Yeah, a lot of the meta right now I'm just like, yeah, that deck's fine, you know? But I don't feel stronger just to play it. Unless it's like Sprite or something. Oh my god, DJ, I'm so sorry I missed your raid. What the heck? I'm so bad at this. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Thank you for the raid, DJ. That's Multiversal Studios, for those who aren't aware. That was like 30 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at this. But let me go ahead and give you a shout out here. Let me just make sure I spelled that correctly. Yeah, there we go. So thank you, DJ. Thank you, Multiversal Studios, for that raid. Sorry again that I missed that. That's just me not being observant. But definitely go ahead and check DJ out. I know he hosts a lot of tournaments in the Challenger Cup format style. So cool stuff, good stuff. He's doing a Magia of your viewer duels didn't go well for him. Oh no. That's good. Try Pure Snake Eye. I think I was actually gonna do Pure Snake Eye next. Did I not just? Oh, I love this song. I always do that whenever I make playlists. I'm like, oh, I love this song. Oh, this playlist that I made is full of songs I love. That's good. All right, yeah. Let's take a look at this Pure Snake Eye list. Imports. This one had Kashira stuff, right? Yeah. Not that I have anything against that. I think I also saw, did they have Excel Stardust in the extra deck? That's a little weird. Oh, it's on Heat Soul too. I might take that out. Oh, I'm definitely taking Sunlight Wolf out. We're not on, oh my god, we're not maxing out on Diabel? Okay, I'm definitely switching up this build. Okay, for starters, in Pure Snake Eye, I think you definitely need to max out on Diabel. I'm going to take out Gamma. I want to play a second triple tack. And then one random Joel is kind of weird. We could just max out on these for the moment. Unless I think of something I want to play more. I kind of want to play a second OSS a little bit. A little bit. Excel Stardust in the extras is weird. I guess it's Valor plus Diabel? Oh, but then you would... No, it's Gamma, but we took that out, so we're definitely taking this out. I'll leave Baron in. Doubt Snake Eye will... I doubt Snake Eye will be hit enough. Oh, I feel like when Fiendsmith drops Snake Eye will be super hit. I doubt Snake Eye... I think Snake Eye is already hit enough. I don't think you hit. I don't think you need to hit Snake Eye anymore. You could like limit Poplar if you really wanted to, but the next hit is Promethean Princess Band, in my opinion. What else am I playing in this extra deck? Let me see something. Chicken game and cash. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not gonna craft chicken games. I kind of want. I almost did actually. When like the ban list hits for Snake Eye first went into effect, I actually did almost craft chicken games. I do think chicken game is quite good for Snake Eye, but I don't really want to craft it. We could put an Ambler Whale. We could play Dark if we're not already. No, we are playing Dark and Hita. Bonfire to 1. I mean, you could. It really wouldn't do anything, though. I really think if you want to impact Snake Eye, the next hit is to ban Promethean Princess. Which I think should happen in general. I think the card's too good. We could play Celine and Access Code. Oh, we're not playing Appaloosa? That's weird. Oh, we are playing Appaloosa. Okay. Do you think Typhoon was released at a weird time? It's definitely a good card, but kind of useless in this meta. We could play that too, maybe, potentially. I don't think Typhoon is a useless card. I think the usefulness you're seeing from Typhoon now is pretty consistently going to be its usefulness. Like, Typhoon is actually a really good example of a card that is extremely generic, but not, like, usable in every single situation, right? Like, Typhoon's always going to come with this restriction of you can't summon for the rest of the turn. So, like, Typhoon is this card where it's kind of more meant to be like, alright, I don't have anything else to do, but I still got to out what you have left, so I guess I'll just make a Typhoon. Like, it's not really ever going to be, like, the forefront of your going second plays, and yeah, I think about the usefulness you're seeing from Typhoon now is about the utility you're going to see from it moving forward. But still a very good generic card. I could play Ambler Whale, but pure Snake Eye, you don't need to play Ambler Whale as much as Fire King Snake Eye. Could still play it over like Access Code and or Celine. I'd probably take out Access Code before Celine, because you can still Celine Apo. Could take out Typhoon as well, but I think I'm going to leave this extra deck as it is. I think this is fine for pure Snake Eye. I kind of want to play a third Poplar a little bit, though, for more consistency. How many starters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish. Yeah, I want to play a third Poplar. Could even think about cutting this for another OSS. How many hand traps are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, with also 3 board breakers. No 1-for-1? Oh, we could play 1-for-1. I'd definitely play 1-for-1 over a second OSS. But I think I would play third Poplar over 1-for-1. So the next slot would be 1-for-1. You could think about cutting triple tax here for like 1-for-1 second OSS, but I think I'd probably rather cut. I think I'd rather cut an Imperm actually for 1-for-1 if I wanted to play that here. I said 9 starters before, so we have 10 now with a third Poplar. I think we could definitely use more, 10, 11-ish with OSS. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we could do this. Yeah, I think that's fine. I like to play a second Princess in Pure. It's definitely not bad. I kind of want to try Typhoon in Pure and just see how often it comes up. I like the Baron as well, since we're playing the Cashiers. I think it's worth it to play Baron if you're on cash stuff specifically. Yeah, this looks good. I think I'm just looking it over. Also got lost in the song for a second. I really like this song. Yeah, this looks good. Just gotta show off your royals, right? Actually, we can show off another royal. I haven't seen a Rescue Ace list yet. Scrolling through these decks. I did scroll past some earlier, but I don't think I saw a Rescue Ace among them. We'll go up to 80 games, actually. Yeah, no, just a lack of Rescue Ace. Ooh, look at this Valmonica deck. 88 games, 54.5% win rate. Oh, it's Mathmech Valmonica. That's cute. Wow, this Mathmech build playing 2 Dark Ruler no more. And the red reboots. That's wild. I heard Valmonica. Yeah, I just saw this Valmonica list here. 88 games, 54.5% win rate, playing the Mathmech package. It's funny how anything that plays level 4s you can potentially just play a Mathmech package. Pop the U-Boat can't activate the whole turn. It's good. That's interesting. Fire King Snake on Proxy F Magician for Blaze Phoenix. That's cute. What's the machine? Oh, it's Sargus is the machine. Yeah, they're just FTKing in this build. Are they? Or are you just like, is it a burn option? Oh, Clock Lizard. What is this? 2 Cyberus monsters. You can true discard, return 1 fusion monster from your graveyard to the extra deck. Then fusion summon that fusion monster from your extra deck. Holy shit, maybe they are looping it for an OTK. Oh my god, this is actually an FTK. Wow, that's wild. That's actually kind of cool because it looks pretty much just like a regular Snake Eye Fire King deck. You just devote a couple of extra deck slots and then all of a sudden now you can FTK. That's wild. That is cool. Oh, excuse me. Oh, here's a Rescue Ace list. I think I'll throw this list together and I'll probably call it. I'm getting a little, not like tired, but not like sleepy tired. You know what I mean? It's like almost 9 o'clock where I am. Winding down for the night, all that fun stuff. Oh, are they on Reinforce? They are, look at that. That's the thing about Rescue Ace. Like, if you really look at Rescue Ace cards, this archetype does not have, like, a bad card. Like, its worst card is probably Reinforce, which is still a fine card. Its worst monster is probably Fire Attacker, which is, of course, a completely fine card. It's like how Pearly has, like, one trap card that's kind of mid, and that's, like, the only bad Pearly card. Yeah, even set up Pearly's like that. I really like archetypes like that. I think they're pretty well designed. Yeah, again, you look at Rescue Ace here. Literally, Reinforce and Fire Attacker are like 2 of the worst cards. And they're like totally fine cards. They're completely good. That said, I will take out the reinforce here. I might mess with this list a little bit other ways too. I just want to. And then yeah, looking at Pearly. Yeah, there's Pearly, Shirley, and like, but I mean everything else here is like definitely playable. I mean I don't play X Pearly Happiness, but you definitely can. And even this card. What does this card actually? Excuse me. What does this card actually do? Target a Pearly Xyz monster you control. Special summon one level 1 Pearly from your deck, but negate its effects, and special summon from your extra deck one Pearly Xyz monster with the same rank, but a different attribute in the targeted monster by using that special summon monster as a material. Then you can attach one card from your deck that exceeds. Okay, so if you have like a rank 2, you get another rank 2. Or if you have a rank 7, you can get a different rank 7. So that's, like, not a horrible card. Like, at all. Wait, hang on. This art... This is confusing to me. Because... Like, okay, it makes sense if Epperly Noir, or Epperly Noir and Epperly Happiness are together, right? But I never noticed that Plump and Pretty are in the foreground. I thought they were all different variations of, like, the same thing. Huh? Are there multiple Pearlies? Do they have their own different memories? I assumed it was one Pearly with all the same memory, and then Pearly has the sleepy memory. But this implies the existence of multiple Pearlies. Just Anthony in Blue, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Right as we're uncovering the Pearly conspiracy. They're Eevees. So they're different Pearlies with different memories. Again, that makes sense. I'm not saying that doesn't make sense. I just always assumed it was the same Pearly with different memories. Like, and different forms it could go into. Like, again, obviously, Pearly and Epperly Noir is a different... But I guess that's also why I assume that, because there is a different cat, but it looks so different. You have 3 copies. Well, technically only 2, but I know what you mean. And it's not a legendary creature. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have that legend rule, which is kind of funny. Although, to be fair, even in canon, it kind of breaks that, right? Because, like, Kisara is the woman who became Blue Eyes White Dragon. But there's still 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, even though there's not 3 Kisaras. Alright, it tracks with the lore. No conspiracy today, it tracks, that's fine. Pearly has personality disorders, my headcanon. I mean, that's what I always thought it was. I always thought it just turned into different forms when you need to, you know? Shirley's a good card, I was running it. Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier, is that there's not... Like, Rescue Ace and Pearly are both very, very well-designed archetypes in that, although there are a couple of cards that might be not as good as the others, there's not really a bad card in either archetype. Unlike, if you want to take another archetype that got recent support, just look at Watt. Just look at how many bad Watt cards there are. I mean, to be fair, Watt is an older archetype, but, like... Watt Key. Watt Adjustment is the one I was thinking about. This is the equip spell, which is like... Why does it have to negate the effects? Why does it have to negate the effects? It's like completely... Like, there's no point to equipping this to a Watt monster. Oh, it's funny. What's another one? Oh yeah, Watt Cannon. Ah, yes, let me... inflict 600 damage at a time. God, I think GX and 5Ds was some of the most miserable archetype design for cards. Like, if a card wasn't its, like, Stratos or, you know, Debris Dragon type effects, which a lot of archetypes had, it was probably random bullshit like this. What's another one? Yeah, Watt Keeper. Like, why does it... Like, there's so many random restrictions here. Like, why does this destroy the monster during the end phase? Like, I can, as somebody who played back in the day, I can tell you that special summoning a level 4 or lower Watt monster from your graveyard on a trap card was not too powerful. This card could have been a spell and also not had the destroy clause, and it would have been fine. Watts would not have been broken. I don't know why they went so far to balance cards back in the day. It's so weird. What's up, Undefines? But look at this Rescue Ace list. Is there anything I want to change about it? Already took out the Reinforce. I don't think there is, actually. Not about the main deck. This looks pretty solid. Extra deck is looking pretty solid, too. Got both Little Knights in there. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Just dropping the Reinforce and playing it at 42. Is the Toy Box engine good? We actually talked about that earlier. I don't personally want to craft the Toy Box engine yet, but when Whitewoods comes out, I will definitely be playing that deck because it looks like a lot of fun and it's good. And I think the Toy Box engine is very, very good in that deck. So I'm not crafting my Toy Boxes yet. I'm going to wait until Whitewoods cards come out and then I'm going to craft them. But the engine, I think there is still some cute stuff you could do with it now. Being able to search any level 4 light off of Toy Soldier is very interesting. And you can still send the stuff off of like Magician Souls, but... So yeah, there's application there for the time being. But I'm personally going to wait until Whitewoods comes out. Toy Box with DM? Yeah, that sounds good. Alright. Let me put on these accessories, and then I think we're going to go ahead and call it for this here Stream Arena. Oops, that's not. Here we are. No, hang on. Gotta show off the Royals. Gotta show off the Royals. Alright, thanks, friends, for hanging out with me. We actually didn't do any dueling ourselves. We watched other people play, and we mostly just built decks and chilled, so... Thanks for joining me, though, today. I like these kind of streams. Hopefully you all did, too. We're going to be back on Friday. Friday is not the first day of the new season. That's technically tomorrow, but I have stuff going on tomorrow, so we are going to come back on Friday, and then also the next day after that on Saturday, going into Ranked Ladder and playing these decks to get up to Master 1. I want to see more deck building streams personally. Hell yeah, I think I'll do them more often in the future. I had a good time tonight. But thanks again, folks, for coming by. Whomst is online? Whom can we raid? Sally's on. Sally is playing... What game is this? It looks like, it's not Civ, is it? She's hanging out with Trishula. Looks like they're having fun playing an RTS game I don't recognize, but we'll go say hi to them and wish them well. But yeah, thanks again for coming by, everyone. I shall see you all in the near future. Bye.